As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be quarantined. Sometime in late 2019, Bill Gates and a 5G antenna broke into a virology lab in Wuhan, China.
Hey, man, just read it like it's written. We talked about this, Ray.
Sorry, I've been taking red pills. I don't know if it's Chantix or if it's the Matrix. Or some shit, and started the worst global pandemic in 100 years. By March, the virus had struck the West Coast and everything shut down. Freeways were empty, offices were closed, and most importantly, the cruel warlord of California, Gavin Newsom, declared that drunken buffoons were no longer allowed to get on stage and tell comedy jokes about their terrible relationships to other drunken buffoons. Comedy was fucking dead, and there was nothing we could do about it. We just had to sit and take it. This brings us to the focus of our tale. You see, there were these 3 stand-up comedy morons who all lived in the notorious East Hollywood comedy flophouse known as Disgraceland. The comedians were named Rivers Langley, Sam Harder, and Carter Glasscock. And in the before times, they ran this low-level internet radio operation called The Goods from the Woods. They talked about pop culture and stuff. People seemed to like the show. Then, next thing you knew, the air had turned to poison, and the guys were going to be stuck together for a very long time. That's when Sam came up with the bright idea to try and do podcasts every single day during what these guys all assumed would be a 2-week shutdown.
Welcome to the Goods from the Woods, the Corona Mixtape Volume 1. My name is Rivers Langley, and that voice you just heard was Oscar nominee and our special guest for this rundown of the first 75 episodes of the Corona Diaries.
Was I nominated?
I think so. You had to have been, right?
Surely.
Yeah. Always a bridesmaid, though. You know, one of these days, Ray, you're going to get it.
Always a bride's guy, never a wise guy is what I've always said.
I think always a wise guy rather than a bride's guy. Or do you just like brides? Do you just hang out in bridal stores and stuff?
Well, all I know is now I have to live like a vaccinated schnook. I have to go into a McDonald's to get my McPatty rib special or whatever the fuck it is.
Well, yeah, so, we've hit up our listeners at The Goods Pod, and they have written in with some of their favorite bits, and also I've been kind of going back in the archives and listening to stuff, so I was going to queue up a couple of things. We're going to do this as sort of we'll play some kind of solo clips here and there, but also I've got runs on various themes, and I think we should actually start by playing. This is actually never before heard audio of our friend Grant Lyon, who was our last in-studio guest before the pandemic started. Like the Sunday before lockdown, we recorded with Grant, and this is I just thought this was cool because you can actually hear us kind of talking about things shutting down and what we're going to do. And so I figured I'd let folks hear that, and then we'll roll into some of our clips here.
I was trying to go to the market yesterday, and it's just lines out the door to get into it.
Yeah.
It is crazy like that. But they just said, apparently they just announced that in Chicago that all restaurants and bars are going to close.
Wow.
Effective tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's going to be for like 2 weeks.
I imagine that might happen here at some point, right?
Probably.
I saw France did that too. Closed all bars, restaurants, movie theaters, all that stuff's closed in France.
Yeah. I mean, it's just going to be like grocery stores and shit that has to be open.
The essential stuff. Yeah.
Huh?
Start it. Huh? I was just trying to get you to spontaneously start it in the middle of that.
I was thinking about it. All right. Welcome to the Goods from the Woods. My name is Rivers Langley.
I'm Sam Harder, and this is going to be a funny podcast. Did you get food yesterday?
No.
Oh my God,
Carter!
You
haven't been to the grocery yet?
Oh
No.
my fucking God, Carter! It's day 3 of a national emergency.
Yeah. So, I mean, you got a car. I can go there and get in line. I have groceries now. I'm not just like fucking scraping at the bottom of a cereal box or some shit.
All I know is you've been meaning to grocery shop since Wednesday of last week.
I whimsically toy about the notion.
Days.
I whimsically toy about the notion just to add to the conversation.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Dry cough and he's fine on groceries.
Man.
I mean, I haven't dry coughed today. I'll say that.
Congratulations. If there ever seemed like a guy who's had corona and was trying to just convince you otherwise,
yeah.
it's Carter now.
It'd be great. Everyone would leave me the fuck alone. I love it.
This is the comedian version of The Thing.
Yeah.
You're the one.
Oh, Jesus. No, I honestly, I gotta be honest with you. I love this shit. I love it.
Lazen?
I love lazing. I love like the not feeling like nervous about doing stand up every 5 seconds of the day. I love like fucking. I love it. Like,
oh my god, the stand up thing is crazy.
It's awesome. It's like you don't have to like.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I miss the act of doing stand up.
I don't yet. I don't. Not at all. No, because you don't have to like constantly be like, oh, I should write new shit. I should be writing new shit. Oh, I can't do my shit now. Everyone's heard my shit. My shit sucks too. You don't have to have that anxiety all fucking day, and then you have to go to a stupid open mic or 3 or 4 in a day.
You haven't been
Fuck that. This is great. You get to sit around and watch movies and play video games all day because the government is telling you to. Like, this fucking rules.
Well, if they start actually issuing like federal rent reimbursements and shit like that, then I'll fucking party.
Yeah,
Sure. Yeah.
That'll be party
That'd be great.
day. Which
aren't they doing that in Australia?
They're doing that everywhere. Like literally
They won't
every
do it.
civilized fucking country on the goddamn face of the earth.
Yeah,
is
they
doing
won't
that
do it
shit.
here though.
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid.
Yeah. So anyway.
Also, okay, it's been 3 days of this.
Well, my attitude's going to change about
Does
it.
it seem longer than 3 days?
No, doesn't seem long enough
No,
right now.
it seems like 3 days. Although I have to be honest, when I just like stop, anytime I just stop for a minute and just think about what's actually happening, it feels crazy.
Of course,
You know
it does.
you know what I mean? But in a way that my brain has never had this exact feeling before, where you stop and you think about what is realistically happening all across the country, and it is that sort of you've woken up in the hospital and there's zombies everywhere kind of a thing. You're like, wait, what? Because it's weird, man. It's what can you say?
Do you feel like something is being hidden from you in that way? Do you feel like you're not getting the full scoop, or do you feel like you're getting the full scoop right now?
Well, they're saying China's lying about it. They're saying China's getting it under control is not true.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I could see either way. I think kind of as we sort of mentioned in the episode that we recorded yesterday, like, the panic is real. Whether,
Sure.
To what extent the virus is, an imminent threat to everybody's day-to-day life is...
Yeah. Well, now that we're all inside, it's like nothing.
Right.
Unless we have it and we're giving it to each other right now.
Yeah. Which,
Even then,
I mean,
Yeah, no big loss.
yeah, in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. Honestly, just talking about it has been more anxiety-inducing than anything else.
It's all anybody wants to talk about. That's another thing.
Yeah.
Other than you just bringing up that you listened to some albums and saw a movie, I haven't heard anybody else talk about anything in the past 72, probably longer than that. In the past 5 days, really.
Watching people not know how to be alone is crazy.
Yeah.
Like watching people who are just like, I can't do it. It's like, no, you have to, and you will. I just can't do it. Okay, it's like, yes, you can. Like you have to.
You really get to see who had friends all their fucking life,
Right? Yeah. Or who was, or who had big blowout birthdays all the fucking time. It's just like, like this whole shit about like people are just like they can't be alone. It's like and watch we have endless amounts of entertainment in front of our fingertips now.
Absolutely.
And everyone's just like, I can't.
It's boring.
This is like hell on earth. Is this the moment where you guys just feel bummed by what's going on, or do you feel still freaked out, or?
It's a combination of both for me.
Like freaked
'Cause like
out
I
and
was
bummed?
saying, my schedule's thrown off, which is really
Yeah.
like fucking with me. Not
Yeah.
really, but it's definitely fucking with me. And then the whole thing of like nobody knows what's going to happen. Nobody knows how long this is going to last. I think that's the crazy part for me to think about.
Yeah. I feel mostly freaked out when I talk with other people about it.
Yeah.
Like when I think about it to myself, I'm like, well, it's going to pass and whatever. Just keep your head down and be safe, whatever. But when you talk to other people, it's really easy to spiral into despair very quickly because it's like not interesting to be like, it's probably going to be fine.
Yeah.
You
I think that was the attitude at first. And now people are like, oh, wait, that was not. I shouldn't have been thinking that for so long, because I
Right.
was up until like a fucking week and a half ago. I was the same way. I was like, no big deal. Fucking what the fuck is everybody freaking out about? And then
I think it's okay to feel like that way if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Like if you're like, what's everyone freaking out about, and you're going out and like crowd surfing. But I think if you're like in your own home and being like, it'll probably be fine. It's a way to keep you from like
losing it.
freaking out at your roommates or something.
Yeah.
I had a very stimuli-filled day today.
Yeah?
So I haven't really thought about it much. Yeah, well, I started off the day with the mission of like I'm going to get this Beyond Beef and then I'm going to make a chili, and that's a fairly complicated recipe, time-consuming. So I've been kind of making that's my advice if you're in the privileged position of having ingredients for a complicated ass recipe. This would be the time because nothing takes your mind off of stuff like chopping onions and.
You have to focus.
Frying
You'll
stuff.
hurt yourself real bad.
Yeah. Getting a stew going. Get yourself a stew going, baby.
Yeah.
A chili.
Whacking off constantly. Just
I haven't had my whack off day yet, but I know it's
a
coming.
whole day.
Whole day.
I know it's coming.
Just at the end of it, you're just crying salty tears.
It scares me, but I know it's going to happen. And there's nothing I can do about it. It's like watching a fucking car stalled on a train tracks. Well, I just gotta fucking let it happen.
The future is
Nothing I
written.
can do.
Yeah,
I
you
have
gotta
a friend-
pop that wine cork again eventually.
I have a friend who I know is listening that will remain nameless, but somebody did in one of my group texts did admit like, I've done it like 4 times already today.
Jeez.
Today, wow,
It's like, God damn,
That is-
dude.
Be sure to use lube if you're
Oh, yeah,
doing it that much.
Yeah.
Rub yourself
and hand
raw.
sanitizer would be like,
You can't lie. It's getting to you at some point.
Yeah.
the boredom and the confinement, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. When I walked to the store today, I was like, oh, you're allowed to go outside? It was like so
Yeah.
weird because I haven't left the house in days.
All I did was today, I just went to go circle by my car to make sure it's fine where it's parked. And it totally is. They're lax on parking stuff right now.
Yeah.
They're not doing street sweeping.
They're not doing street sweeping.
Yeah.
But I just went to do it, just to get outside.
Yeah.
And then I was like looking at other people on the street and I was like, what are you doing outside? I was like, what am I doing outside? You start thinking this shit where you're like, man, maybe I shouldn't be out here right now.
Dude, when I was in the grocery store today, I was like, every one of these people has coronavirus, everything
Yeah.
I'm touching has coronavirus. Like,
Yeah.
now once it's in your head, you can't get it out of there.
It's such a back and forth. It's like such a 1 minute I'm like, this is great. I'm watching all of Better Call Saul without any guilt of doing anything else. And the next minute I'm like, I am trapped. I am so trapped.
There's nothing I can do.
Oh, Better
Yeah.
Call Saul is good though. I made
It's the shit. I just watched season 4. I just finished it for this.
I made the mistake of watching it before the plague started.
Oh yeah,
I watched
know.
it like several weeks ago, and now I'm like, fuck, I should have waited.
I know. If only we had edged ourselves on all this great content.
And we are back in present day, hanging out at Disgraceland with actor Ray Liotta. And we just got done listening to a few clips from the first 4 episodes of the Corona Diaries. All of those were recorded back in March of 2020, and I really felt it was important to play those just to kind of give you an idea of the tenor, the mood in the room, if you will, amongst Sam Carter and I in those early days of the pandemic. So I thought that might be kind of illustrative of what we were dealing with over here and perhaps what everybody else was dealing with at home in terms of just weirdness and uncertainty and all that. But now we're going to roll into a couple of themed kind of playlists from our show. Starting off with this one, I guess I could start this by posing a question to you. Ray, what's the worst job that you ever had?
Well, to me, I've never really had a job. I don't look at anything as for me to live any other way than being an Oscar-nominated actor is nuts.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, acting can be a hard job, you know.
Yeah, well, you know, to me, those people that try to, you know, work in the game Clue, who worked on the movie Clue, who that sang that song Blue, those people are suckers. They
Eiffel
have no
65
balls.
is suckers.
Yeah, Nintendo 64 or whatever their name is. They have no balls, you know. And see, if I want something, I just take this voice into a casting office and I take it. I'll give you some of my commercial reads.
Okay.
Here we go. Oh, what? You don't want to Uber? Fuck you. Take it. Oh, what? I'm sorry. You don't want to go to Chuck E. Cheese? Fuck you. Give your kid a good birthday. Oh, I'm sorry. You don't want to go to the hospital? Fuck you. Fix it. It works every time, I gotta say.
During all of this, our co-host with the Mo host, Carter Glasscock, was looking for some jobs, and so I was going to play a couple of clips regarding Carter's job search during the pandemic.
What a fucking idiot.
I tried to get a job online as a puzzle master for a virtual escape room.
What the fucking shit?
Who wants to do that during this? Who was like, you want to feel more confined and trapped?
Virtual escape
So,
room?
A virtual
Are you
escape
just
room.
like playing the game Myst or some
Right?
point and
Like,
click
why wouldn't you
fucking bullshit?
Or it's like you're stuck in, I don't know. I mean, who the fuck would want to? What if that was one of the businesses that opened? Like one of the first round of businesses was escape rooms.
God,
There's
we're just
10 or-
touching
there's-
everything.
Yeah,
10 or less
everything has been
people.
licked clean.
Yeah, we disinfect the whole escape room between every group.
Yeah, we talked about this at the beginning of this whole thing in like episode 2 or 3. They had a fucking escape room in Austin that was just like, hey, why don't you come out of your quarantine this weekend and come to our escape room?
Oh man!
And everybody got pissed and they're like, why is everyone mad?
The days just keep coming.
When our laser tag place is going to open back up?
That's dude. The last time I got to play laser tag, Josh Wallace had his birthday party down at someplace down in like the South Bay that had like go-karts and we played mini golf. We weren't even actually gonna do laser tag. We went and did mini golf, and then we just saw they had laser tag, and I realized that like the most crucial ingredient to laser tag is not the darkness; it's the fog machine. Because
that's fun.
Yeah.
because they had all the lights off, but you know they couldn't turn them like so off that you know kids would like fall into walls and shit.
They're
so
supposed to have like the blue lights, like the
black lights. Yeah, they had the black lights going and just no fog, and so you could just see everything. You know, so.
My favorite laser tag place, it was like fucking 2, almost 3 stories of laser tag. It was in an old movie theater. Huge course. They had power-ups on the walls that you could shoot, but they would shoot you if you didn't do it fast enough. They would have fucking fog machines going.
Yeah.
Music playing, like the fucking Mortal Kombat theme song from the movie.
King, Johnny Cage, Sub-Zero.
Oh yeah.
Would you guys have Qzar?
No, this was...
You know, there's one out here, or there was.
This was
The Qzar?
Laser, I think.
Yeah, Qzar was like the big chain.
No, yeah, right. That was the big chain.
They
It's
had
like
one
a
in
Chuck E. Cheese.
One in Birmingham, I remember.
Yeah, I've been to many a birthday party at that one and
Yeah.
been pressed up against the wall and had my chest shot at. I'm very COVID unfriendly now.
No, definitely.
If you want to win, you push a kid up. You push the weak kid up against the corner and you keep zapping him in the chest.
Zap him over and over.
Because they have individual scorecards that come back with your gun.
Yeah.
And if your gun has a lot of bodies on it,
Yeah.
you know.
What's your code name?
Code name? Oh, like
Do you get to pick one at the place you go to?
Nah.
Weed Pimp 69. No, I think I was always like Carter with a K.
We had a place called Hollywood Connection, and
Ooh.
it had a movie theater. And years later, I had a Mitsubishi, and the only Mitsubishi like service dealership place was right next to Hollywood Connection. And so it started off like when I was a kid, Hollywood Connection was dope because it had a laser tag arena, it had mini golf, it was like it was like the preeminent place to have your birthday party if you were a kid.
Right.
And then they took out the laser tag and I think just replaced it with more mini golf. And so we never really went back there, but they still had the movie theater. But the thing about the movie theater is they only showed PG and G movies.
Oh,
Because it was
family
because it was attached to a kid place and it was next to the service center for the Mitsubishi. So every time I ever had to get my car serviced, I would have to walk over to Hollywood Connection and then just like choose a PG or G movie to watch because it was the
Dude,
only
yeah.
thing to do.
The laser tag place that I would go to when I was a kid, it was right next to a Discount Tire. And as an adult, I went to that Discount Tire and had to wait. And I was like, I'm going to go walk over to the laser tag because they had a huge arcade. And I was like, I'm just going to play some games. Everybody looked at me like I was the biggest pedophile ever. Just walk into laser tag by myself, not play laser tag, just go over to the arcade,
Yeah.
start playing the fucking Dungeons and Dragons, beat 'em up.
I forget
Yeah.
who said it recently, but someone was like, Chuck E. Cheese, good pizza. I'm like, all right, pedophile.
Yeah, exactly. And
No, I go there for the pizza and the beer.
really doubt that also.
I was going to say, listen, if you're 30 and you don't have a kid, you are not allowed to remember what the pizza tastes like at Chuck E. Cheese.
It tastes rubbery and young and nubile.
At Chuck E. Cheese, they used to
It's like the cheese isn't even curdled yet.
They used
Yeah.
to stamp our hands
Fresh.
with like an invisible stamp that you had to put under a black light
Yeah.
when
Yeah,
you
I
leave
remember
to make sure you're not stealing children.
You have to check your trench coat and everything. Check the trunk of your car.
Yeah.
He's clean. Someone called me the other day. It was an LA number. So I was like,
Sweet.
perhaps this is real.
Yeah.
And this person called me and they were like, I was like, hey, this is Carter Glasscock. And I was like, yes. And they're like, did you apply for our company over Indeed? I was like, yeah. Like for the position for 50 an hour, and I was like, and she was like, they're like, it's for the position of financial advisor. Would you want to interview for that? I was like, yes, I do believe so. And financial advisor. I'm not. I don't know if people are fans of this podcast. I am not a financial
I
advisor.
just looked up your resume and they're like, oh, he used to be a bartender. Sounds perfect.
Yeah.
Please go interview for that job.
Well, I was going to, but I slept through it. I slept through my interview that was at 11 a.m.
Oh, Jesus, Carter.
That's some quarantine depression
Oh
right there.
no, was that supposed to be today?
No, that was a couple of days ago.
Oh
I
lordy!
slept through a wedding I was supposed to go to. That was real early, but I set an alarm specifically to wake up for it because it would have happened at 9 a.m. our time. And then I woke up and then was up for like 30 seconds and just said, fuck this, and just went back to sleep.
You really can't ask people to do shit these days. You can't.
I was telling my roommate earlier, I was like, I enjoy doing this podcast legitimately a lot. Like it's my main thing these days.
Yeah.
But today, knowing that I had to do the podcast, like in 3 hours, I was like, man, fuck that. And it's because
I get that
no,
one,
it's
too.
just because having to do any task at this, like I'm having fun right now.
Okay, good.
Right.
If I have to do any task, I'm just like, man, what the fuck? I have to do something that's going to take 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Man, well, I'm trying to do nothing here.
Because you're like cognitively trying to be like okay with doing nothing, and then you get so okay with doing nothing, you're like, I gotta do something.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck that. Like even getting up to make your own food. You know what I mean? Like it sucks.
I'll pull out my phone and just start looking at Postmates, knowing full well that I'm going to end up making my own food, but I just love the idea that I might see something and just be like, yeah, now I don't have to do shit. And sometimes it
Absolutely.
works. Sometimes I buy into my own bullshit. And then I eat a delicious meal of Jack in the Box from down the street.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude.
It is right. rate, you're not a criminal. I'm not accusing you of that, but you've definitely played a lot of criminals on movies, television shows, things like that. The film Narc comes to mind, where you're both a cop and a criminal.
Sure, yeah. I play a real. It was a stretch for me because I play a tough guy who uses violence as a way of getting what he wants. You see, I'm very method in the way that I work. A lot of time, like for instance, I will break the law constantly. A lot of times, I like to wear a sleeping mask while I'm driving.
Oh, wow.
I know it's bad. I know it's illegal. But to me, there's no other way to live.
It's just driving blind. How many times have you been pulled over doing that?
Oh, numbers get kind of hazy, but I'd say around 20 or 30 times.
Oh, wow. But I bet cops love you. Like you're in so many kind of movies that like cop guys would really get into, I feel like.
Well, cops, they do tend to respect me. They always say something like, you talking to me? And I'm like, that's Bobby D. That's not me, you fucking idiot.
Well, so one of the things that we kept kind of focusing on during the Corona Diaries and during the pandemic was the fact that we're all trapped inside, and really our main window to the world is our phone. And at some point, I think right before the pandemic, Sam, our co-host Sam Harder, stumbled onto an app called Citizen. Which delivers police reports, and not even police reports. Sometimes just random people on the street will submit to Citizen that they've seen a man with a weed whacker or a scimitar or some kind of insane weapon, and those reports came straight to our phones, so we talked about them quite a bit. So here's some of our favorite Citizen updates from the Corona Diaries.
All right, I had one more thing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
A couple news stories.
Yes.
Breaking news, really. These all happened in the past 12 hours, and they're also all from our neighborhood.
Oh my God, is this Citizen?
Yeah, and I
Hell
just got, as soon as I said that, I got another alert from Citizen.
Oh God.
So now we have 5 of them. 6:30 a.m., we got a suspect wielding a kitchen knife.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was apprehended.
It's a beautiful morning.
Around 8 a.m.
It's still morning.
Yeah, 8 a.m. we got man assaulting people with vehicle.
What the fuck does that mean?
Jesus.
I guess he's running people over.
You ever played the game Twisted Metal?
It's Grand Theft Auto.
It's a little bit like that, yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Fucked up my car.
Yeah.
That's what CJ.
Oh no, homie.
Yeah.
Then we make it to about 11:30.
What does Ray Liotta say? He's like, "Don't be a hero."
Hey, don't be a hero.
Yeah.
We got a 11:30 report of an assault with knife.
This is the guy from 6 a.m. Certainly, he's still out at.
No, that he was apprehended.
Oh, okay.
While I was just taking a walk around the neighborhood, as I've been told we're allowed to do,
Yeah.
with the mask,
Yeah.
I got a Citizen app that said 400 feet away from you, machete-wielding person.
Well, that was the next one I was gonna say. Report
Just
of
taking a little
man-
jaunt, you know?
100 feet.
Because even right now, it was only a quarter mile away.
Yeah.
Like it's a tornado, like
Yeah.
slowly moving towards us.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Just like a
Yeah.
Tasmanian devil with a machete coming out of the side.
man
of it.
man armed with machete, and right now we got a fist fight at 826 Lucille Avenue.
Oh, good.
Christ.
So fucking Google Maps
Wow.
that.
My
Find out where
Lord.
the fist fight happened.
You know what? When
And this
things
is
get so bad,
literally in the past 12 hours.
when things get so bad, it's just comical. Where it's like, even if you want to go outside, there's a crazy guy with a machete that'll shit in your mouth. It's just like, you know. Today
Absolutely.
on Citizen, I saw that they said that someone at the laundromat was spraying bleach in people's faces.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
man!
This was at 10:19 a.m.
You saw this.
Beautiful morning.
And it wasn't just a person. It was the employee at the laundromat.
I know exactly which one, dude.
Which one?
The one on Virgil?
Assuming this is the one on the corner of Virgil and Silver Lake.
No,
Yeah.
it's not.
Oh, it's not. I was going to say, because that one has a very sort of fascistic laundry guy. He's very rough with the homeless.
This one's off Melrose. But yeah, I figured that's what it was. They're spraying homeless people.
Yeah.
And you know what other good news is? They didn't catch the guy with the machete yesterday. Because guess what? Guy with the machete's still out today. Another report of guy with machete.
It's still. I mean, I'm telling you, it's just look for a Tasmanian devil thing with 2 machetes coming out of the side of it. And that's probably him.
Oh, see, I was going to say, how long before he gets the full-on union suit and hockey mask and just becomes Jason Voorhees?
I mean,
Let's get it for him.
honestly, like, it so wouldn't be as scary as, like, if there was, like, if Freddy, Jason, fucking, the entire cult from Hereditary and fucking was outside, it wouldn't be nearly as scary as the coronavirus.
It's true. 2 citizen updates. A report of man nearby wielding metal rod.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's a pretty good melee weapon.
And then the other one, report of man hitting nearby parked vehicle with a stick.
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
That's just, I mean, you
It's
know.
literally like we're back to the beginning of 2001: A Space Odyssey. It's just the monkey found the bone and now he's banging on the rock with it.
I mean, it's just, I mean, what a futile expression of angst, you know? Someone needs to give this frustrated artist you know, he's all wound up with nowhere to go. And I mean, what a you know, what a sentiment of the times, honestly. We're all just kind of hitting a car with a stick right now, a parked car with a stick. And honestly, you want the car alarm to go off just for a little fucking excitement in your life. You can run away from it.
Can I give you 3 citizen apps?
Yes, you can.
Yeah,
Three citizen updates?
I'd love it if you did.
All right. 0.5 miles away, report of man swinging knives at Sunset and Fuller.
Love
that
that
one, yeah.
because it makes you really wonder: does he have like some strings attached to knives, and he's swinging
Yeah.
those like nunchucks? Or
That's like everyone needs that member of like an evildoer group, or it's like the knives guy.
it sounds like like an anime fighter type. He has flying knives.
Yeah, like what character of Mortal Kombat was he to have the flying knives?
9.
Baraka.
That's
This one-
correct.
This one was shockingly close. 900 feet away, report of man armed with a pole at San Vicente Boulevard.
Oh yeah.
Did you try to snap a pic of that?
No, I couldn't. I was too busy screen capping it and being like, "Ooh, the lights."
Yeah.
And then I was also like, Donatello was the least threatening member of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so I didn't really give a shit.
And then North Vermont and Lockwood Avenue, report of a man with a wrench. So there was just
And
a
he
guy.
wasn't working on his car.
Big ol' wrench.
I mean, people can't find just one plasma rifle out there, you know?
Nothing's been interesting lately. We've had a really chill couple days.
Oh, I don't know. When I pulled into the garage today, one of the people who live out of doors was screaming, "He's got you under mind control, man! He's got you under mind control!"
Hell yeah.
Let me tell you, Rivers, I live 10 feet
This
above
was under
those
your
people.
window, yeah.
And I heard that this morning, and that's it being mellow. I hate to tell you, that's it being chill.
Oh God.
That's chill. That is, for being very no chill, it's pretty chill.
By the way, I got some citizen updates from today. 28 minutes ago, report of a man brandishing a knife on a bus. This is from...
No big deal.
No big deal. This one is from 4 hours ago. Man throwing rocks at passing vehicles.
No big deal. Just normal stuff.
And
That's
Does it say how
fuck
big
you,
the
cars.
rocks?
I know.
fuck you from trying to get away from it. I remember in Birmingham, there's this huge thing about there's these kids who are throwing bricks onto the highway,
Oh God, yeah.
and they were fucking going through people's windshields and shit.
Jesus.
And that does not seem so out of proportion to happen here. Like that, I could very easily see that happening.
Doesn't that happen in that movie, The Good Son?
with Macaulay Culkin?
You remember that movie?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he does that, or gets
He sure does, and he blames Elijah Wood for it.
Yeah.
Who is the good son?
He is the good son. it
Here's
turns
a
out.
citizen update from the other day. Report of man weaponizing stick at McDonald's.
Oh yeah. We discussed this off air, and yeah, we should totally figure out what this means here.
I think we need to get together a list of what constitutes weapons.
Well, all right. So here's
You can use a stick as a weapon. You have weaponized it.
Well,
Yeah,
I feel like.
it's true.
This is the bone of contention here, is the use of the phrase weaponizing, because to me, the sentence was report of a man weaponizing a stick at McDonald's. To me, that means that man is turning the stick further turning it into a weapon, meaning he's got a big knife and he's whittling it down to a point to make a spear or an arrow. That's what weaponizing means. Now, if it said a man was wielding a stick, then that would mean that he had picked up a stick and
he's
was
swinging at
using it
people.
as a weapon. Yeah. Weaponizing a stick, I mean, I just think the guy who wrote that isn't in command of his verbiage, is what I'm saying.
Oh, you hate to see that.
I think you meant wielding. Weaponizing means the man's doing some whittling.
You know, when you get like 8 or 9 of these updates a day, and knock on wood, you're just going to eventually see it in person. Like, we are going to see some guy in person, like swinging around, like
Rivers, I hate to say, I think you're wrong here.
Yeah,
I think you're wrong with denying that weaponized doesn't mean swinging a stick like a weapon. Because I'm looking up the definition now.
That's why
it can be clearly the definition says adapt for use as a weapon. So that means either of those.
That's why I
things.
clarified to me. It said to my ear.
yeah, to thine own ears be true.
Yes.
You know, I think that you know the people who contribute to Citizen 2 are, you know, they're your everyday, you know.
Yeah, they're your
everyday
citizen
journalists.
Salt of the earth.
Salt of the earth journalists. You don't have your fancy schmancy pay for a subscription to read LA Times. No, these are people on the streets.
They care not for
on the beats.
They care not for MLA. They care not for Chicago style.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. No,
these are journalists. These are the salt of the earth journalists.
Copy edit this.
Yeah. Copy edit. Oh,
my left foot.
By the way, I like that Citizen gives you the option at the end of it to be like, "Was this helpful?" That's a thing.
It should ask, was this entertaining?
Yeah,
it sure was.
Well, I got one like right before we started rolling that was like, it was like, man assaulting woman in parking lot. Was this helpful? And I'm like, no, clearly not to her.
No, yeah.
Well, I mean,
and it's neutral for us.
My roommate told me Citizen app was initially called Vigilante. And it was supposed to be used
by superheroes.
It's supposed to be used by people like you who get a fucking notification that a man's attacking a woman and are like, I'm gonna go fucking do something about this.
That's so funny because then that just means that the person who reported it is not on the hook for this at all, you know?
We're not officially advocating street justice, but we kind of
I think that's why they changed the name.
Yeah, that just turns the person reporting it then at that point just becomes like, you know, Charlie or Oracle or something. It's
all
like,
Citizen does is make the walls seem like they're closing in. That's all it does.
Yeah, for those listening, if you don't have it.
Our friend told us that she used to walk to an open mic, and then after that, she just only took lifts after she got the Citizen.
Oh, yeah.
She realized how dangerous it was just in general.
Yeah, person shot in the back, 20 feet away, and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, hey, actually, if y'all are listening to this out there and you don't have the Citizen app, or if you do, I want to see screenshots from across America. I want to see what y'all are dealing with in your neighborhood. Just get the Citizen app, scroll down, we love stories of melee weapons. Find us the craziest melee weapon. Is there a guy, you know, that has like a broken street lamp or a stop sign or something from the game Streets of Rage?
Sure.
This is what we want to know about. So send me
a porcupine tied to a stick or something. The crazier the better.
Yeah, if you live in Florida and you see you know, some sort of warlord riding 2 alligators or something down the street, something like that. This is the shit we want to know. Tweet at me at Rivers Langley or tweet at the show at The Goods Pod. Give us your best Citizen updates. We want to know about it. What's going on in your neck of the woods? I'm evil Al Roker. I have a bevy of Citizen updates. This is our
good to say.
There was a tree fire earlier.
There was a tree fire?
Yeah, some like transformer blew up and caught a tree and a house on fire, I think.
Is that hence the power outage?
That might have been the power outage.
Well, that happened about a half mile away, so maybe, I don't know.
Report of man with knives, standard.
Knives are that's like fucking entry level.
You pull out a knife and people aren't even scared anymore.
Yeah. In fact, are people just overreacting? Are people just pulling their keys out and they're like, they got knives?
Report of person threatened with bat.
So there wasn't an actual bat. He was just bluffing.
That was just a few hours ago. And then update, report of man assaulted by bat wielding man.
All right. Well, he wasn't bluffing.
It's real.
He was keeping it 100.
That's right.
1 hour ago, 5 miles away, report of person with a machete.
Person decapitated by a machete.
Report of head rolling down street.
I did see a bunch of crows gathering around a decapitated body. That would be that's in reference to.
Report of a man armed with a hammer, broken car windows.
Jesus.
Okay.
How long ago was this?
This was.
Like, do I need to go check? How long have we been doing this? Do I need to go check my car?
This was 10 hours ago, 4.8 miles away.
That's fine.
It's smart to use a hammer, though. You want to cut up your own hand when you're breaking into cars.
Yeah, it's
You
hammers
need that
are so
hand
useful.
to grab all the stuff you're stealing.
Right, and then the other hand, if someone fucks with you, you can lodge that
Yeah.
into their ocular cavity.
Oh, yeah.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. This is cool. This is what I'm about to read. This is awesome because so far, the gender gap between weapon wielding maniacs has been a chasm. But just a scant 8 hours ago, report of a woman armed with a knife.
Yes.
And then
Yes, Queen.
And
Go
then
off.
yes, Queen. Yes, Queen.
Go off.
And then really close nearby that, just a few hours ago, report of a woman wielding a pipe. So that's cool.
She gets down.
She likes to party.
Where are my hard-hitting pipe ladies?
In the upcoming apocalypse, you're going to want a woman that knows how to swing a pipe.
It's all of us weaklings who don't know how to utilize hammers and pipes. I mean, they're going to come into our homes and kill us. You know what I mean, like we have to learn.
Report of a man armed with a knife and pepper spray.
Damn, that's a nice 1-2 punch.
Yeah, you
blind him, then shank him.
You ain't fucking with that guy.
Please, sir, all I want to do is, like, just get in your mail.
Report of a man armed with a box cutter.
Oh, that was me.
Report of assault. Report of assault involving a stick behind the Rite Aid.
Oh, man. I'll tell you what. You came with a stick to a knife fight.
Yeah. Well, and then this one's even weirder, sort of along the same lines. Report of a man with a gun at a car crash scene.
Honestly, it's like...
He was involved in that car
Yeah, no,
crash,
it's just
clearly.
it
He
feels
didn't
like...
just walk up like, there's a fucking car crash going on. Get on the fucking ground.
Times are crazy, man. That is kind of what I was imagining. Because this is just based on Bruce Willis run over Ving Rhames in his car, and then some crazy guy comes out of nowhere. And,
motherfucker.
yeah, and then they get taken prisoner in a pawn shop. It happens in L.A.
I mean, it's a wacky town. But it sounds like
Wacky town.
and all this stuff going on. The man with the gun, like that's
Yeah.
what you'd be like. Everyone's trying to like you're running from that guy or trying to like he's the one to beat. In the land of the blind, the man with one eye is king.
Yes.
And Miss Royal Rumble, I'm envisioning in my mind the guy with the gun is like being like he's corner. He's like kind of inching his way towards the treasure they're all fighting for.
Right.
And
It's like, oh, you bought you brought an axe? Cool.
yeah, he's got the golden gun.
He's gonna run. His clip's gonna empty at some point, and then
That's true.
Old pipey wifey's coming.
Pipey McWifey. His Irish pipe hitting wife. Oh, Pipey McWifey. Oh, dearie dear.
Wow, those were pretty crazy.
Yeah, they were pretty fucking nuts. I'm going to be honest with you. But it's all part of the life.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's part of that sword life. The wooden swords. I mean, what's the craziest weapon that anyone has ever wielded against you?
I was almost disemboweled.
Oh, wow.
I was almost hung, drawn, and quartered.
Wow, like William Wallace.
But I would say the worst weapon that's ever been used against me is probably my mother's rolling pin.
Oh, boy, yeah.
You
that's a
never
tough
forget
one.
that. You
never
never
do.
forget that.
It's notable. It's memorable.
When your mother comes at you, your mother comes at you with the rolling pin, not yelling at you, but with a smile. See, that's how your murderers came. She picked the moment when I was at my weakest, generally when I was trying to take a shit. And then when I needed the most help, like when I needed toilet paper.
Well, this might be a bit of a left turn in terms of a question, but have you ever been to Jamaica, Ray?
Jamaica?
Yeah.
That's near Queens, right?
Not Jamaica, Queens. Jamaica, the island of Jamaica in the Caribbean.
Oh yeah, no, I haven't been. I don't travel much.
No? Okay.
I don't believe I've been to Jamaica. No.
Well, one of the ongoing sagas in the Corona Diaries was one of my high school friend's little brothers. He started to believe that he was a Rastafari man from Jamaica.
Oh my God! So he's walking around like a fake wise guy.
It's almost worse than a fake wise guy. As a fake Jamaican. from
Yeah.
Alabama.
See, back then, we used to call that racial appropriation.
Oh, that's definitely what that is. And so I've got a few clips. These are from episode 13, episode 25, and 31 about the White Rasta from my hometown. This is a guy I went to high school with who's been in jail for a couple of years, and they let him out of jail. And I want you to keep in mind, this man is white. Is very, very white.
Aw, man.
But they let him out of jail, and now he is a black revolutionary.
Oh, good.
His Facebook statuses are amazing, so I just wanted to shout out.
Wow.
Let us meditate. This is a white guy. Let us meditate on the sacrifice of the martyr Marcus Garvey. Pray be to our shepherd Athilai, with praise to the Most High God, Yah Rastafari, Emperor Haile Selassie I, Lord of Lords, Yeshua HaMashiach. Peace be upon the believers.
Nanu.
Shazbot.
Yeah, Shazbot.
Yah, send the angels down to protect I and I, Lord of the tribe, Judah,
Yas
always wear
queen.
the crown. And yeah,
So he's not kidding here.
no,
No.
he's very serious.
I and I not afeared of them.
Yeah. A couple of weeks ago, I shared a Facebook status of a friend of mine's younger brother who is a white guy who thinks he's a Rastafarian.
Okay.
I've heard of these.
Yeah. And he had an all-time classic that he dropped just a couple days ago. Praise be to Haile Selassie Jah, Rastafari.
Oh no.
Charles Edward, Prince of Nations, Emmanuel and Lord Ross with us. Show the fire of Jah, flames burn the pagan. Rome fall by the King of Kings, Lord of Lords, conquering lion, the
Big
tribe
up.
of Judah.
Big up.
Emperor, give them Babylon heathen a Ross cloud, a bomba clot on bod mind, sick conscience, Lord kill, and lamify weak conception.
This feels like a comment on like the lyric video for Amber by 311. Big up Rastafari
And then-
from Justin.
and then this one's weird. Adolf Hitler philosophy, blood clots on my bus fall, black supremacy. Yeah, we bout that folk gang round here. Blah, dua,
He
da da
definitely-
wah unsnot.
I would.
There's more.
I would bet $100 that he just copy and pasted this shit. He did not. He's not smart enough to write.
mean-
No, yeah. He maybe a couple of those words, and then it's like, Tyler, come down here for dinner.
Where does he live again?
In Auburn, Alabama.
Oh, boy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So
That was
that is-
they
that's a-
called
that's a-
that Auburn's actually known as Bob Marley's second home.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. He loves
That's
it.
right. That's right. He wrote a lot of songs about Auburn, Alabama.
Couldn't get enough. My last Facebook thing I want to mention, the White Rasta guy that I've brought up on here a couple of times. My friend's younger brother, who is a white guy who thinks he's a Rastafarian.
Is he still Irie?
He's staying. He's staying. Irie.
He's not afeared of them.
He's not afeared of them. The last, the last update that we had from him, he said, a bumba clot on bad mind, sick conscience, Lord kill us and lamify weak conception. So that's where he was at, like at the beginning of May. Then yesterday he just says, I guess they're reopening everything because things are getting desperate with the economy, but it seems kind of stupid. Like, seeing as how we have no vaccine or cure for the virus and reopening, we're just gonna have a lot more people get the virus and death tolls are gonna go way up. Which is exactly
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So even the white Rastafarian is being reasonable here.
He can put the patois aside for a minute. And
Yeah. Well, and then 4 hours ago, he just wrote, here's some food for thought. Every barcode contains the number 666. Maybe as some famous messianic rabbis I've studied in the works believe that the beast itself is entirely compromised to the great multitudes of people. Try and eat and live without barcodes and without looking into a phone. # Revelations. So he's back to,
yeah, he's back on his bullshit.
he
but
went
I
back
mean,
on his bullshit.
and
But
he
for-
immediately had a moment. He had as they say in Pulp Fiction, he had what some alcoholics refer to as a moment of clarity,
yes,
and then he went straight and went on a deep dive on Modest Yahoo. It sounds like.
he went back. So anyway, that's what's happening.
I'll tell you what, I've tried to sell Coke in the pen, and that was easier than listening to that. That was pretty brutal to have to listen to.
Well, one of the interesting things that happened during all of this, Ray, was Sam had to find a roommate during all of this. One of his roommates moved out, and
Bunkmate, as I call them.
yeah. So a cellie moved out.
That's actually what I call my cellular phone.
He hit me on my cellie. Sam had to find a roommate, which he did, and then that roommate moved out. And so this next clip, we're going to hear Sam talking about his roommate moving out, and then also I had a roommate that moved out too, so I had to fill a room as well. So these are a couple of clips about roommates, the search for roommates, and the departure of roommates.
I have an announcement to make. Maybe this will make you feel better.
Ooh, what we
Okay.
got?
My new roommate, the good one, has
There's already
announced-
a distinction?
has already the one who was never gonna be there. And,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
that one has announced that she is moving out.
How many weeks was it?
She's
3
been here
weeks?
she's been here like one.
Thanks for the month's rent, I guess.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
She's gonna. Well,
What
she's-
did?
I don't know. None of us have interacted with her at all.
This is the one you've never seen her face, right?
I've seen her face now.
Oh,
At
okay,
this
okay.
point. She
Yeah,
came
yeah.
down to do laundry, and she didn't have a mask on.
Have you guys all been using her room as the fart room?
Well, it's just like she moved in the fucking
That was
water.
my room, wasn't it, Rivers?
no.
It's downstairs. I get it.
Like the first week, the fucking fire alarms going off for no reason in the building. That water main broke out front. We're on the side where there's always crazy yelling.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
if
it
it's
wasn't
the-
a good presentation week last
I
week.
don't know if it's the apartment itself or the neighborhood or maybe something. Maybe she heard the podcast about the keychain.
Do you think?
Yeah, maybe. I don't fucking know.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh,
She
I don't
Yeah.
like to live in a reality where there are repercussions to this podcast.
Maybe she found my Twitter and I don't post anything about her, but just saw it and it's skeeved out.
I wonder what my new roommate and friend Sam's podcast is like.
we should
click to that exact episode.
we should do an exit interview. I want to know.
I know.
Let's take the
man.
Zoom over there and just be like, all right, what was it?
I will retreat into my turtle shell.
What-
and be
what
like,
was
I'm
it?
Sorry.
Yeah, I know. Rivers is so. Courtney's been doing the same thing. She's just like, you should ask her. You should ask her. She's just like, ask her everything's okay. It's like, no, I can't. I'm not gonna be nosy into her life. She says she's going out of state.
Oh,
Cool.
okay. Yeah,
That
that's,
might be. See, that's more. It's like if you're just moving to another
It
place in
makes
Los
sense,
Angeles.
'cause
Yeah.
she's not on the lease. She can come and go, or she's month to month.
Yeah,
if
right.
anybody's listening. Who cares?
Someone's gonna need a new
She's
room.
definitely
or-
on the lease.
Yeah.
She is month to month.
Right.
If any of our listeners want to live with me, that's
let's take this.
that's
Let's
a
take the.
possibility right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she's out, and I would love to exit interview. We got to have my other roommate on, who's also a good roommate. He's an actual stand-up comic.
Oh, fun. Yeah.
Yeah. I met him before when he was looking at the place. I saw him at the door. I was like, "Oh, Daniel, what's up?"
Oh, okay.
It's like one of those things where you forget that this is an actual year in history because you're like, "Yeah, I guess people got to move."
Yeah.
You know, like
It's still like so hard to. I think Daniel did the same thing when I told him because Daniel's room is right next to hers. He was like, have I been being too loud? I don't think I've been. Like as soon as I heard, it, I
she's
also
like,
was
"It's
like,
one of your faults."
yeah. I also.
And I'll never tell who.
Now fight about
I just also internalized it completely. Like, what the fuck did I do? You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Even though I've never interacted with the weirdest thing that happened, and it was fucking weird, is she left the apartment to do whatever. Courtney's there. She at some point, like 60 seconds later, is like, I think I heard somebody just knocking on the door. I didn't hear shit. I go over, open the door. As I'm opening the door, she's walking in. So it just seems like I was like waiting, looking through the peephole, and then when she like got close, I like opened the door. It's
If it's that, I'll be shocked.
I don't think it's that, but I'm just saying that is my fucking interaction with this woman.
I'm so self-conscious. I would think that too. I think regular old roommate whoopsie doodles are not the case. I think this is a deeper like I don't want to be in Los Angeles during the apocalypse.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah.
I do think it's that too, because she was saying she goes to school, which is all online now, so she can fucking do it from anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait out this tumultuous period
If
at
you're a
home.
transplant, why the fuck you at least have thought about leaving LA,
Yeah,
guys?
yeah.
Let's not lie here.
Depends on what Congress is going to do.
Yeah.
The end of the podcast.
I mean, you know.
What about like the $600 thing? Or?
Yeah, I'm going to be needing that.
No, they're gonna. Make,
I know, dude. I got my unemployment for the first time this week without it.
Oh, yeah,
and
sure.
I'm like, I can't. $400 a week is not enough to live in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's getting hairy.
Yeah, yeah.
If any of the listeners want to take a deep dive into hacking this woman, finding out the real reason she's leaving.
Just ask her. I'll ask her.
No, that'd be so funny if I was just like, "Hey, this is the neighbor," and you're just over in my living room,
And I just
waiting
point
for-
blank, just
waiting
like,
for her to come out of
why?
her room.
Why don't you have a seat? Why don't you have a seat?
You want to have a seat? Yeah.
That'd be weirder than requesting.
Oh, did you
a
want
fucking
some-
hacker?
Those wine coolers all for you. You want to have a seat?
Did you want some of the cookies?
Yeah, why don't you have a seat?
Why don't you have a seat?
Rivers Langley, Dateline NBC.
Why are you leaving?
Why?
Where are you going? Why?
Why do you want to leave?
Is this a Sam thing? You can tell me.
Were you giving up on your dream?
Is,
What are you doing?
is Sam pissing you off, or is this a financial thing? Give me some details,
What
please.
is it? Yeah, just tell me. Why is it?
Yeah, we just want to know. Have a seat.
Have a seat. Dateline NBC.
Where are you going? Where are you going? Hey, come back. Come back.
Come back, Chris Hansen. Dateline NBC.
Rivers was so genuine too, and he said, "I'll ask her."
I wanna know.
Like that is a feasible situation.
I could weave it into a cash con.
I would just wait.
Cash Con.
I'm saving time by calling casual conversations cash cons.
I appreciate that.
I think
I saved you time and I saved me time.
wait,
Yep.
wait by your front gate until she walks by, and then pop out. And be like, "Hey,
Pop out from
hey
behind a
neighbor!" No, just walk out. Walk out like you're going to your car or something. Hey neighbor, nice to meet you.
Yeah,
I look forward to seeing you a lot in the future.
that's a great idea. Yeah, that
And
would.
then
that-
she'd probably be like, "This guy's a fucking creep. I'm gonna get a million miles away.
Wait, what-
I'm gonna move out even
Where are you-
earlier.
Where are you
than I was
going?
already going.
Where are
to.
you don't want to have a cash con? Where are you going?
Why are you moving out?
We're so fun here.
Lady,
Do you want to do my podcast?
So cheap. So fun.
I've been making pickles.
Some are spicy, some are not so spicy. Be on the podcast.
Oh my god. Well, yeah, we'll do an exit interview with her. You know.
You're such a creep.
It's like the same thing with the cat. Like I'm just not gonna get involved.
I'm not. It's my roommate, and I'm not even involved.
Yeah, but I
feel
can
like.
tell. I can tell that you want to know.
Of course, I want to know. It's my roommate.
So I'm
it
doing you
me
a
or
solid.
what?
I'm absorbing all of that that curious energy.
Man, if she already heard the podcast, then that would be so fucking gnarly, creepy. Because we would have sat around and made this plan and then publicly broadcast it for anybody to hear.
Man,
Like a bunch of fucking creeps.
speaking of roommates, we finally filled the room.
Yeah.
And by the way,
Thank you to everyone who's called in and wrote in.
my God, I have been, we talked about this when Sam was going through this a couple weeks ago, and then I've been dealing with it all weekend. I put up an ad Friday night.
How many responses do you think you got from the time you put it on till the time you took it down?
To right now. I took it down just a moment ago. I got confirmation on the new roomie. She seems awesome. I can't wait. And she seems normal, which is cool. Everyone else who wrote in, there was probably 25, I would say, and 95% dudes. And
Who you can tell are crazy right off the bat.
dude, all right, here, let me run it down.
Yeah.
First one was a guy. I clicked on the profile, and the first status said, "Well, it looks like God has decided that I'm not going to be a DJ." Here is my Venmo. It was 3 strikes.
Wow.
It was amazing.
Out the gate.
3 strikes immediately.
Well.
God told me, ding, 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 that I'm not going to be a DJ. Here's my Venmo. No, sir.
Yeah.
You are out of your element. This is you're not looking for a place to live. You are looking for a life change that I cannot give you.
Also, you can't pay rent.
You're
literally
that's what I mean.
Advertising that you can't afford to
That's
pay.
what I mean. The biggest strike is the third one. Venmo? Fuck you. Job.
God took a lot away in March. He took a lot away.
That's like the girl who's I checked her Facebook page and she's drunk in the middle of Monday, interrupting her roommate's job, singing in the kitchen.
So, listen to this. All right, so the second one I got, and I think I told you about this one when we were having our Italian dinner Friday night with some eggplants from my garden.
Bellissimo.
Yes.
Mona me.
Mamma mia. There was a guy who messaged
You're so beautiful. Why you looking like this? All day long with the stereotype. Why?
My name is Lou.
Lou, why you so big? You need to work out, Lou. You're a bigger boy. You got too much fettuccine.
Don Lou.
This guy hits me up and he goes, he sent 2 messages, bam, bam, right in a row. The first one just
I
said,
like his style.
The first one said in all caps, I want it, and 1,000,000 exclamation points. And then immediately, second message, I want to rent it, 1,000,000 exclamation
Dude,
points.
I got so many.
What if he does the next message? I want it. The power of Christ. Like, okay, wrong.
Well, it was worse than that because I clicked on it. So, and the first thing that he had posted was a video of him doing push-ups and screaming. It was literally him going like,
Here's the thing.
yeah, like just fucking.
And it was at home, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. It looked like it was like outside somewhere. I'm like, my patio is a very peaceful place. I do not need a fucking.
Hey,
And he was.
I don't need a hunk.
got-
Look, here's the thing. I've been putting on quarantine pounds. I don't need a hunk.
You don't need a guy who's going to scare your new cat by screaming.
That's right.
Yeah, we just have a cat that has showed up last week and is just
We have claimed
outside. Yeah, it's
it. We
just
have claimed it.
it's just there now.
It has a collar, but I'm not ruling out that it doesn't have anal worms. But it has a collar, and Rivers calls it Elvis, and Emily calls it Bugs, and I'm calling it Steven.
And I'm leaning towards Steven. Steven is a fantastic name for a cat.
Let the people decide.
I'm
Vote
calling-
for the best.
Oh,
name.
there we go. Yeah, we'll put up a poll on on Twitter.
You can vote.
Vote for the cat name.
I'm going to start calling it Sam Jr.
Or T-Bone Jr.
T-Bone.
T-Bone Jr.
T-Bone would actually be a good name for that cat.
Yeah.
That is a good name for a cat.
This is
I
our
can't-
cat, Thomas Bone Jr.
Thomas Bone Stephen Bugs Jr. Esquire.
Well, okay, let's get back to the roommate
I was gonna
thing for
say,
a second.
yeah.
The fact that, because I got a bunch of similar messages where people are just like, I want this. Where it's
Yeah.
like, to the listeners, our rooms here are extremely cheap, like on the low end of good places to live in the entire city.
I was saying the only thing comparable is if there is some sort of like Sunset Boulevard-esque 1920s rent control, like 1,000-year-old woman who's paying $25 a month.
Exactly.
Other than that, this has got to be the cheapest place in this part of town.
So
Forget about it.
These
East Hollywood.
These
Yeah.
people are messaging you like you're desperate. Like there's not
Yeah.
a million
Yeah, yeah.
people in LA looking for places all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're just like, I need this right now. And
Yeah,
that's
dude.
immediately like, wait, something is weird here.
It's-
I mean, they're
yeah.
probably like, I understand.
Pandemic stuff.
Looking for a place to live in LA is tough as shit.
Yeah, dude.
But don't be so thirsty.
Here's
you know?
Hey, don't be so eager. Why don't you make Daddy happy?
Yeah. Make
Which is
me
creepy.
Tease me. Make me beg for it.
When?
These are
Baby.
the other two I got. So I got this one lady who messaged, and I clicked on her profile. I was like, oh, she seems kind of cool. And I was scrolling, and then like 3 posts down, it was like, great weekend at the lake, and it was just a fucking picture of her with like 50 people, no masks, at a lake near Bakersfield. And I was like, no, what the fuck, no.
Well,
People will never get the fundamental thing about like social media. It's like it's a receipt for everything you've been doing.
Yeah. And then the last one I got was a guy who messaged and was like, you know, like, as I put the ad up, and I was, you know, truthfully just kind of like ignoring, you know, people I wasn't gonna.
the majority of
Yeah,
them.
exactly.
Because I put mine up on 3 groups. I could have spent every day, probably a couple hours responding to people.
Yeah.
I got so many inquiries about it.
Yeah.
And you have to ignore people, and it sucks because you would, when you're looking for a place, you would love somebody to hit you back and be like, no,
Sure.
at least, so you're not like waiting, having your hopes up or something.
You just
but
feel like
it's so
the prettiest
many
girl at the
people.
ball. You're just like, sorry, I just don't have any time. I wish I could. No, your abs are impressive. I just,
I love your empty liquor bottle collection on Instagram.
I've made candles out of them.
And then the last guy that hit me up, because I'd been ignoring it, he was like, why aren't you responding to me? Like he's Batman or something, worship me or whatever.
Well,
and I clicked on his shit.
You trying to like abuse me into letting you live with me?
It was crazy. And then the next message was like, are you ignoring me because I am male? And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yes, kind of. But I clicked on his profile, and again, it's pictures of him at the fucking bar in like San Diego. And I'm like, no.
Dated
I'm not trying
from,
to
like-
die from June.
This is horrible, but and it's horrible I even had to do this. I don't think it's horrible, but it's horrible I had to do this. I fucking put, please be somebody who takes COVID seriously.
Yeah.
And, it's just something like that.
I put
in my post.
In my post, I
Yeah,
said like
bet
we
you
can
have to.
arrange either a Zoom tour of the apartment or a masked in person thing like that, which was kind of my hint to be like,
yeah, you can't give a hint to these dummies
Oh, I
on
know.
fucking Facebook.
oh, they need it spelled out in the sky.
Absolutely.
Well, I would imagine a lot of people who are like looking at apartments right now, from the very nature of being in someone else's house for the first time in months, they're like, so we're not really giving a shit about, COVID, right?
Honestly, everybody who
So you
came
do
by,
have to kind of spell it out for a lot of people.
yeah, everybody who came by wore a mask.
Yeah.
For when I gave tours, but you could tell which ones kind of gave less of a fuck.
Can we smoke?
about
Can I
it.
smoke inside?
Yeah. Well,
Do we care? Are we caring?
Their mask is like so loose, it's like falling down as they're talking to me.
It's a Long John Silver's bib. Hey, can I smoke in here? Hey, let's be honest. Me and you, we need a party.
Hey guys, to be honest, you like chicken planks, right?
I got a lube baby pool with our names on it. Let's have a party. Let's get it catered by KFC. Come on.
Hey man, well, be honest with me. You like bitches or hoes?
It's like, no, me and you both know I'm moving in here. We both know that. All right?
By the way, I'm going to run a cigar store out of here.
Yeah, my aggressive style of salesmanship has worked well for me pre-COVID. So.
My name, Big Ass Lou.
Big ass Lou.
I have update on my new roommates.
Oh, yes.
They both moved in at this point. One of them, before they moved in, I met multiple times, and now they've lived at my apartment for about a week, maybe a little more. Have never seen their face.
Your roommates?
One of them. I've never seen her face.
Just like is in the room all the time?
Is that a test?
And when she comes down, she's just masked up already. Or she's like putting it on as she's like walking down the stairs.
Wow.
I've never seen her face.
Wow.
And
Okay.
I hope it continues, honestly. It'd be fun. It'd just be a fun, it'd be, like a fucking.
It'd be like living with Batman.
What if like post this like that would just be the way to do it, like all roommate situations in major cities like Los Angeles where it's like you just avert your eyes when you see someone. That would have helped when I was living in someone's living room.
Yeah.
I was just walking around like morning wood and my like underwear and just be like, all right, no one's looking.
You're going to work, right? Because I need to jack off really bad.
That's understood. We're not like lifelong friends here. I need a place to stay. You're offering.
Yeah.
You don't want to look at me in the morning.
I just think it'd be fun to never see her face or not see it for like months at least. Yeah. It'd be a real like home improvement
Wilson,
neighbor thing.
yeah.
Yeah, Wilson.
Yeah.
I'm Tim the Toolman Taylor, of course.
Obviously, T-Bone the Toolman Taylor.
Yeah.
That's right. T-Bone's the Taylor. T-Bone's the Taylor.
Still
What the
trying
hell is going off the rails?
Figure out who's Al Borland in the house. It's definitely not me, I can assure you of that.
I ain't no fucking Al.
Oh, our Al is right here is Rivers. I like to look at myself as the oldest brother one, or like the middle one.
You're Jonathan Taylor.
Am I JTT?
Yeah, you're a JTT.
Am I JTT? I'm like twirling my
you're
hair
the-
right now for people listening at home.
You're more like the young one who killed himself.
Wait, did that happen?
I don't know.
middle one?
It's just
Is
one of
it the
those
middle one?
rumors.
Oh yeah, you remember that rumor at school when everyone was like, Adam Sandler's dead.
Steve from Blue's Clues overdosed on heroin.
Yeah, that's classic. Down here, I mean, it's real out here, and we got to find a roommate. And a guy.
No, I live with 5 other guys in the valley.
Yeah. You live in an incubator like Silicon Valley?
I live with 4 other stand-up comedians. I don't even do stand-up. I don't know why I'm doing that. Living in a fucking dorm
Wow.
my whole life.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Live like a schnook. Did you know that? I used to be able to get fresh mozzarella and spaghetti, and now I have to eat, leftover Domino's with these fucking idiots.
That's where witness protection moves you now, is they make you a comedian so no one ever finds out about you.
Well, see, in preparation for my role in The Godfather, I decided to actually go into the witness protection program, and I'm still in it. Which I guess that movie came out, 1986? I don't remember. But I'm still in the witness protection program, even though I'm a noted celebrity.
Well, so one of the things that we kept kind of hitting on the show is strange crimes. People just out there doing weird shit.
Strange crimes.
And I want to start this next block off with a clip from episode 61, where we had Nashville's Advice King, comedian Chris Crofton.
He's a good fucking guy. I know Chris.
He was on the phone, and we started off talking about a ruckus at a putt-putt facility in Memphis, and that quickly turned into legitimately one of the funniest stories I've ever heard that Chris told. So we'll start there, and then we'll hear some more crime stories. So this is from Memphis, Tennessee. A video posted on Facebook shows scenes from a chaotic night at the Golf and Games Family Putt-Putt Park on Summer Avenue.
Uh-oh.
You can see dozens of teenagers rioting, throwing objects at employees, spitting on people, and destroying property.
Objects?
Investigators say that the business reported parents were dropping off kids in the parking lot until there were more than 300 teenagers at the business. After someone threw a firework, the crowd stampeded, and the business decided to close without issuing refunds.
Wow.
This is what happens when the government makes parents stay with their kids for 5 months straight.
You're so right. You said it better than I was going to say it. You're totally right, Sam. That's exactly it. We got no babysitters. Let's drop them all off at putt-putt.
Yeah. They rioted.
Fuck it. I need some time off. She's 4 years old. I don't care. I need a break.
She said she likes putt-putt.
Yeah.
She did
We're
not.
dropping off 300 teenagers so we can make 300 more babies tonight.
You threw your voice. She didn't say she liked putt-putt. You did. You said you did that like a... Well, she keeps asking about putt-putt, so I'm going to go drop her off. She's not asking about it. You keep saying it like a ventriloquist. I want to go to putt-putt. Stop doing that, Doug.
And on the other side of the coin, these kids have been around their parents for months, not able to break any rule because they're so well supervised.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
I'm sure around those 5 p.m. Zoom drunk sessions, they just let their kids do whatever the fuck they want, and now their house is being destroyed.
Yeah. Memphis police were called to the scene, and here's the final line that I love. A 13-year-old boy was issued a juvenile summons for disorderly conduct.
Wow.
So they summoned a 13-year-old to court over this.
The ringleader.
The main
leader. You could tell.
Wow.
The coolest kid there.
I bet he had torn one of the wings off of one of those what do you call them, windmills. He tore one of the arms off of windmills chasing around somebody with it.
That kid had a pack of cigarettes rolled up in his sleeve.
Oh, that kid was
cool as hell.
No cage can hold me down.
When they're patting him down, he putting a bunch of condoms in the thing. His keys to his car.
You hadn't heard the last of Timmy McClanahan.
He kept hitting me, everybody with that windmill arm going, hole in one, bitch. Hole in one, bitch. I bet that happens at a lot of any kind of thing that's open, basically. People probably try and drop their kids off at.
Anything that takes the place of parenting.
It's the Woodstock 99 of putt-putt.
Yeah.
And Fred Durst was there going, "Give me something to break."
I think like the Dave Matthews fan that went to Woodstock '99. I'd like to think there was like one kid that's like, "Can we just play?"
Oh my God, you're so right.
Yeah.
I was that kid too. I was like, when I was young, I was that kid. I'd be like, I want it. Come on, you ruined the.
I'm 2 under par.
You ruined the windmill.
Guys, it's fun if you try it.
Get off the castle.
Somebody made that windmill. Someone cared about that windmill.
People made that. Guys.
As they're pulling down the giant clown head like Saddam Hussein statue.
Well, that happened every sleepover, basically, like at camp, like that happens, and I just wanted to go to bed. Like I wanted to go to sleep. And everybody ran wild. You know what I mean? Everybody ran wild, took their pants off and stuff. And I was like, just like, come on, it's time to sleep. You know what I mean? Like the worst thing that ever happened to me was one of the worst. That's definitely not the worst thing, but it's not even one of the worst. It's maybe top 100, but it was a formative experience. It was one of the first nights I ever stayed overnight for camp, and it was like at a day camp, but they had a sleepover, and it was at the YMCA. It was in the YMCA building, so that's how you do it in Connecticut. Some Connecticut camping on the second floor. They had a thing where the counselors had this thing, and maybe you guys have heard about it. You're from the South. But in Connecticut, I never heard of it. They said everybody had to jump in the pool and try and fight for a greased watermelon.
I have heard of this. I have definitely heard of this.
Okay, yeah. It is a thing that has happened, but I had never heard of it, and it did not appeal to me. I was like probably 8 or 9 or 10 years old. I don't know. Maybe I was 11, 12. I don't know. But I went to bed, and everyone else was like fucking Lord of the Flies competing for this fucking greased watermelon. And I was in hell. I just never as soon as I got home, I was going to say, I'm never going to one of these again. And I just remember, this reminds me of like a putt-putt situation. You know what I mean? Like everybody was like, all bets are off. Mom and dad aren't here. This kid, I was in my fucking sleeping bag with it over my face because everyone was running wild. I heard them all running, and they're all like eating cheese or whatever they were doing. And this kid pulled my fucking sleeping bag back. He was a boy man. And he was nude, and he swung his dick in my face and said, "Suck my dick," and then ran away, like ran on to his next victim or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it was like
that seems
I
pretty.
never forgot that. It was one of the most frightening things I've ever happened to me.
That's pretty standard for
Just
the YMCA.
all bets were off. I bet there
though.
was some guy swinging his dick around saying, "Suck my dick down at the miniature golf course too." But that was truly horrifying, and I'm sure that guy must have grown up to be, he's probably like, it was probably Steve Mnuchin or something.
It starts with cheese after midnight, and then it ends with suck.
I mean, that really happened, and I was a quiet kid.
Did you?
You're just trying to sleep in your briefcase.
Yeah, but then eventually, like in my teenage years, I was like, I guess this is how you get laid. So I was running around fucking chasing greased watermelons too. I gave in. You know what I mean? Well, I guess I gotta be crazy.
At any point, did you consider sucking the dick?
Oh my God. I wasn't even sure. I'm not even sure I knew what it meant. I think I got the general idea since it was about 4 inches from my nose. But I just remember that those nights when kids run wild, it is not fucking pleasant, even for other kids.
Oh, yeah. You just want to chill. You're down to sleep. Like, you want to get up, like, we're going to go horseback riding tomorrow.
Yeah, it's like Woodstock 99. It was like when the people who wanted to see Sheryl Crow, but there were people yelling, "Show your tits" at Sheryl Crow, and people were like, this is not that kind of show.
Yeah, guys, I've never seen Alanis Morissette. I just want to see Alanis.
It's like, guys, my parents paid the money to send me here just like yours did. Like, let's just calm down.
I like music.
Yeah, I like music. I don't like this anarchy. I want to enjoy the music.
I don't want to suck anything. I want to listen to nice music.
Oh, my God.
Port Clinton, Ohio, at about 10 p.m. Saturday night, 50-year-old Katrina Morgan called the cops to allegedly falsely report that her pussy was on fire.
It was indeed not on fire.
Morgan asked the cops if the fire department's hose is working and said, somebody needs to come put my pussy out with their hose.
All right, dude.
Wait.
Quarantine.
One second, ma'am. 1 second. Yeah, she's the longest hose we got. The longest, veiniest, meaty hose I don't know. Do we have that? It's an emergency. It's like, is this your first day at 911?
Ma'am, this is very serious. All right.
Yeah.
You cannot call the police and tell them your pussy's on fire if it ain't really on fire.
There's real emergencies going on right now, ma'am. Your cooter being on fire, or if you think it's funny, it's not. I just want to inform you, it's fucking not.
That's the best part about cops is they're always trying to tell you, like, you know, the thing you were doing it's actually dangerous.
Yeah.
It's like, ha, we're all having fun, right? Until someone gets hurt.
Yeah.
Fire department out of your house because your pussy. There's a kid dying in a car crash a mile away.
You know what? I could be solving a murder right now, but I got to be here to tell you to quit telling people your pussy's on fire. This is ridiculous.
Cops moved to arrest Morgan for false reports and disrupting police operations.
At that point, you could just light your own pussy on fire.
I know, yeah. It's like, I'll show you it's real.
If you really want to prove your point, yeah, I guess.
You get out of trouble for your awesome prank.
So here I was thinking you were full of shit. Well, egg on my face. I'll call an ambulance, I guess.
Police arrived to find Morgan at her friend's home where she and others had been drinking heavily, obviously. And
sounds like an escalating truth or dare scenario.
Totally.
Somebody paid her $20 to do this.
Yeah.
Never have I ever called the cops and told them my pussy was on fire.
I have more tact than just calling straight up 911.
That's a 311 situation.
Yeah, this is not.
Leave a message on the detective's voicemail.
When she was getting arrested, Morgan became agitated and yelled at the officers as she resisted arrest, only relenting when an officer threatened her with a stun gun.
What started as a silly goof ended with police brutality.
Michigan State Police say a 51-year-old South Rockwood woman was arrested last week for allegedly trying to hire a hitman to kill her ex-husband. Wendy Wayne allegedly contacted a fake website called www.rentalhitman.com.
I was going to say, is it hitman.com?
No, it's literally rentalhitman.com.
That's like when you're a kid.
I found them on darkweb.net.
That's like when you're a kid and you go on sex.com. It's the same shit. Boobs.com.
She Googled, I want a hitman, and this is what comes up.
Murderforhire.org.
This website claims to offer hitmen services to solve problems. Wayne allegedly filled out a service request form on the website and requested a consultation to help with the issue, saying her ex-husband was the target. The owner of the website then contacted Michigan State Police because he was concerned that Wayne was trying to kill her husband. I don't know what gave him that impression.
Concerned, yeah.
Who's
slightly
I'm more
concerned.
interested in, listen, hire someone to kill your ex-spouse. Not good, but it's a tale as old as time. Like,
Yeah,
sure.
that episode of Cops, or there was a whole show and they were like, wow, people can't get enough of Cops. What if we did a whole other show where it's just like undercover bullshit detectives? You know, it'd be like most shocking or whatever.
Yeah.
Fox, all those channels, you can just watch like
My
the
favorite.
country devolve into the cesspool it is, because programming for the last 20 years has been like, do you want to see the worst of humanity? Do you want to get inspired by the underbelly? Yeah.
My favorite-
Give me a soda.
My favorite one of those was they had one on Fox that was just like it was like hidden cameras of like restaurants, and it was just, and there was one where it was just two people having sex on the table at the back of a McDonald's.
Froggy style. Like the kind where you do the dip, you know what I mean? And like they're on the back of their neck. It's
I
a
wonder if
very
people have ever fucked in the ball pit. Like
Dude.
the ball pit.
Oh man.
when everyone leaves, those two.
I bet tube slides was a lot of teen fucking happens in those. Like at night on a playground, that tube slide. Be a couple skinny kids.
Oh god.
That's. I mean, when I
That'd
was.
be great. How about that? Two thick people getting the tube slide. You know, senior year.
THICC.
They get stuck fucking in the tube slide over there at the elementary school.
They got to get cut out of there.
Yeah, they gotta wait till the next. They try to fuck on Saturday night. They get stuck. They gotta wait till Monday at recess when the fucking kid slides down feet first and decks your girl in the face with his fucking Velcro Nikes. And they go, "Hey, we tried to fuck in this tube slide. Now we're sex criminals."
I can't wait for all of like the straight to Netflix like COVID like after hours at the Walmart. The employees were butt fucking all over the cereal. Like that has to
It's
exist
always
somewhere.
that same shitty voice. You won't believe what happened next.
Are your oats pure?
Finish this. This is the rest of this article. An undercover state trooper posed as the hitman and met Wayne in a parking lot in South Rockwood. She offered him $5,000 to murder her ex-husband who lives in another state. She provided him with an upfront payment for travel expenses. So I wanted to mention
It's an elaborate sting.
this is exactly the same amount as Joe Exotic. It's like, yo, everybody knows it's about 25 grand to kill a person.
We all know that.
It's 5 grand is insane.
I don't think everyone knows that, Rick.
Come on. Well, you live in the
I
world.
guess.
You all live
I
in the
mean,
world.
if you're asking me, I'd be like $1 million, or whatever the fuck, like just some random.
It's-
5 grand sounds low. That sounds low.
Hey, you need to pay me a lot to kill somebody for.
A random person, like for 5 grand, I'd like go and like put sugar and like cut their brake lines or something.
yeah.
I don't know. 5 grand seems low.
5 grand is very low. Wayne was arrested and charged with solicitation to commit murder. And
Yeah, 5 grand's fucking low. What, are you gonna get a fucking '97 Civic after you kill somebody? 5 grand.
that
Can't
was
even get a car with a Bluetooth built in for that.
No backup camera for 5 grand.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I killed a guy and I bought a 2013 Nissan Versa with 172,000 miles on it from an old Hertz fucking fleet.
wow. That's almost exactly my car.
Yeah, 'cause
I look
it's
at your car and I'm like,
almost
I'd
exactly
kill
my
for that
too.
car.
I wouldn't even kill time for my car. Are you fucking?
The owner of the website, rentalhitman.com, says that since he started the website in 2005, he has been contacted numerous times by people requesting murders and claims that it has prevented more than 130 murders as he refers all requests to law enforcement. So
Yeah, someone should do a documentary on this guy. This is a weird dude.
that's what I'm saying. He created a honeypot for stupid people. You know,
I get depressed with how dumb people are. It's made me sad.
130. That means, 130 cases that he's gotten off of rentalhitman.com.
Is that a jaw harp on the table?
It is. Yeah, it is.
I'm always scared my teeth will fall out if I.
Oh,
fuck
me
around
too,
with
man.
that.
Yeah.
What do you do?
You'll know the sound when you hear it.
Okay.
It's a cartoon boner, essentially.
It's like now I see why it's up here. Yeah.
It's so funny you noticed it, Rick. I've had this on the table for a week now, waiting for someone to ask about it just so I could do that.
Well, there you go. As foretold in the prophecy.
I've got a news story I was going to share with you, Kyle, before we let you go. See what you think of this. Las Vegas, Nevada. Surveillance footage from July 14th shows an unidentified masked man walking out of the Deja Vu Love Boutique in the middle of the day with a humongous dildo slung over his shoulder.
Right. Like you do. Yeah. No unmarked bags. No shame.
It's like ice skates.
Yeah. I spent a pretty penny on this thing, and you're goddamn right I'm going to use it.
Well, he didn't spend a pretty penny on this thing. This is not. He walked out with it slung, just fucking got put on a mask, went to the Deja Vu Love Boutique, and strolled out.
A double-sided discount.
This is not your average dildo. It stands a whopping 3.5 feet tall and weighs an impressive 40 pounds and goes by the name Moby Dick.
Speaking of white whales, yeah.
That's like into like gravity blanket territory.
Moby Dick retails for an estimated $1,200.
That's
Good
too
Lord.
much.
I mean, it's a 3.5 foot long dildo, though. I mean,
That's not that big.
That's an expensive habit.
I mean,
Yeah, like is it the size of a small child? Yes.
yeah.
Have I ruined it for anyone who owns one now thinking of it under those metrics? I hope so.
According to the police report, the dildo bandit crammed the phallus into a white Dodge Caliber and made a clean
Happy
getaway.
was the person who wrote this article. This was a journalist who wrote this. I assume high-fiving a mirror.
It was tired of writing the words death toll every day.
Because like
Stolen dildo is a lot more fun.
Review that last sentence you read.
Okay, I'll read it again. According to the police report, the dildo bandit crammed the phallus into a white
3.
Dodge Caliber and made a clean getaway.
5. Like, now I could swear that this journalist, while writing simply the facts, is trying to make it sound like some imagery that might conjure some sort of phallic thing and any things that might ram into places. At least it wasn't a Dodge Ram. Let's be real.
Oh, yeah. Be a little heavy-handed.
Also, 45 pounds on your shoulder. Like, that guy's, like, really kind of, like
That's like carrying a bag of fucking Quickcrete or something. That's a lot.
That means it's so long that you're dragging the head or the balls. You know what I mean? Like,
well, no, it's 3.5
work
feet.
out.
I mean, it's like a big rifle or something. He's kind of holding it like, you know, like a ROTC guy would hold a rifle.
He's cupping the balls and the head's kind of pointing out
he's
backwards.
cupping the balls. The head's kind of facing, you know, back into the left.
Jiggling every which way.
It's fun to watch you just keep throwing stuff at him to see how many times we'll keep this riff going. Like that was like I got to watch a version of like a batting cage. Like you just kept throwing those solid 30 miles per hour pitches. And River's like, I'll dink these all day.
I wish he just had like a fleshlight stretched across his head too.
Or he has some sort of like Spencer's novelty hosiery with weed leaves on it over his head.
Well, the last line here, and then I just wanted to mention one other thing. This is the last line. Deja Vu Love Boutique is now offering a cash reward for any info leading to Moby Dick's return. So if you have seen a nearly 4-foot long dildo, then Deja Vu Love Boutique has some money for you if you return it.
This feels both like it's harder to have happen in Vegas, like for that to like jump out, but also one of only a very few places where it could also happen in the first place.
Yeah. Well, it happened in the middle of the day too, which is outstanding. Like the guy just walked in.
Well, if you think about it, that's probably when they're less busy. So this person was smart enough to know that reversey rules are in effect.
Yeah.
I want to think that there's like a George Clooney out of sight situation going on where he like sat down and he's like, I'm going to take this dildo because there's a gun in my pocket.
Well, the thing that I liked is that he was wearing a mask.
Right, yeah.
So the Panera Bread fart woman that we talked about earlier, she's like, I ain't wearing a goddamn mask in the Panera. But meanwhile, the dildo bandit is a socially responsible person.
Yeah,
so
let him keep it.
If these words had come out of my mouth in February, they would have been word salad, but now they're words to live by, all right? Our standard is now Violent J of the Insane Clown Posse and the dildo bandit.
Yeah.
Live your life as close as you can to those two gentlemen.
The moment I realized over pandemic that not only would I vote for Violent J for president, but I think he'd do a pretty good job if we're judging by the history of presidents.
Like, it would not be a downgrade.
I'm not saying we're putting him on money, but he's definitely like top 25.
Yeah, immediately. Yeah, he's
just like, suck a dick, Van Buren. I'm moving ahead of you.
Yeah. How you like them apples, Millard Fillmore?
I don't know how to get this exactly, but like, what if that man is in fact stealing sex toys from the rich to give to the poor, like some sort of Robin dildo? I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, he's gonna melt down. Like
wait. Robin Wood.
Robin Wood. There it is.
If you're gonna go ahead and be a comedian on me, that's fine.
That was more like Zoo Crew DJ.
Look, the second draft can perhaps yield a better way to flow with it.
Oh my god!
I was going to say he could melt down Moby Dick, and in the way that Jesus divided the loaves and the fishes, create probably hundreds of regular-sized, perfectly usable
Sure.
dildos.
It's all part of the war effort, guys.
I'd like to see Jesus do that. He just did it with shitty bread. He didn't do it with jiggling sex. What America needs. That's the hero America needs, not necessarily wants.
Jesus Christ. Wow, they stole a huge dildo. Isn't that crazy?
Well, it's either you take the dildo or you pay for it. And those people who paid for their dildos, they're suckers. They may or may not have balls, but they're dead in the water. See, when we wanted a dildo, we just took it. And then we'd have big dildo fights. Big dildo lightsaber fights.
Just you and Bobby D and Joe Pesci just having a dildo fight in the parking lot.
Right in the middle of Paulie's Pizza Emporium.
Well, I assume they're playing the Duel of the Fates from the Phantom Menace while this is happening.
I mean, back then we lived like rock stars with dildos. I mean, we had dildos coming out of our ears. The other day I went to a sex store and they gave me a free bag of dildos. You know why? It was out of respect. And because I'm a frequent customer.
And that clip, of course, was with our friend Kyle Clark. And before that, we heard about the Hitman rental website that turned out to be a guy who will turn you in for trying to hire a hitman. And of course, that was with our friend Rick Wood. So check out at Kyle Clark is rad, at Rick W00D on Twitter. Those guys are both hilarious. The next thing I thought I would play was a couple of incidents. It's a story and a follow-up story regarding a man of the cloth down in Louisiana, Tony Spell, who was causing all kinds of problems at the beginning of the pandemic.
Tony Magic, we called him.
Can I tell you all a very brief story about a man of God down in Louisiana?
Please.
Tony Spell is his name. And so this is from April 1st. Police in Baton Rouge, Louisiana issued Pastor Tony Spell of Life Tabernacle Church a misdemeanor summons for 6 counts of violating the governor's executive order barring large gatherings. When asked why he would not follow the governor's mandate, he said, quote, "We have a mandate from the word of the Lord to assemble together." Spell said his Life Tabernacle Church in central Louisiana drew close to 1,000 people to his services on March 22nd, in part by busing people in from across 5 parishes. He says, "If they close every door in this city, then I will close my doors. But you can't say that retailers are essential and the church is not."
Yes, you can. You absolutely can.
So that's
They can, and they did.
And they did. That's April 1st. April 12th, Spell held an Easter service after the summons and said that about 1,200 people showed up, including some that were bussed in from other counties. And
Do you think every person who walks through the door, there's like cash register noise goes off in his head?
oh, just wait for this. You know where this is headed.
I don't, but that's just my guess of every pastor taking advantage of this situation.
You intuited perfectly where this is headed. So that was April 12th. April 16th, 78-year-old East Baton Rouge resident and Life Tabernacle Church parishioner Harold Ortillian passed away from complications related to COVID-19. So one of his flock is now dead. April 19th, Pastor Spell issues the hashtag Pastor Spell Stimulus Challenge.
Hashtag Pastor Spell Stimulus Challenge. 3 rules. Number 1, April the 19th.
This guy needs some better audio equipment.
It begins.
Get a
Rule
windscreen.
number 2, donate your stimulus money. Rule number 3, donate it to evangelists, North American evangelists who haven't had an offering in a month, missionaries who haven't had an offering in a month, music ministers who haven't had an offering in a month.
Fuck
I'm
yourself.
donating my entire stimulus, $1,200.
Someone
My
push him
wife
into that
is donating
fucking
her
bay and drown his
stimulus
ass.
My son is donating his stimulus, $600. Hashtag Pastor Spell Stimulus Challenge.
Fucking
Wait, who are they
leech.
donating him to?
Give through
Himself?
My website.
This fucking
Did you hear that?
asswipe.
Hold on.
LTCBR.com.
Hold on, let me run it back real quick.
If you don't have a church, give through my website, www.
So if you don't have a church, give it to him directly, is what he's saying.
Why would you be religious and not have a church?
Yeah,
I guess maybe you live in the middle of fucking nowhere.
the whole
that
point
would
is
be
to
it.
have a cool ass church. You know what I mean? Like,
the whole middle of nowhere thing is a good point, but usually that's a problem that affects like Catholics. Protestants don't have a fucking issue with this in America.
I love that he doesn't even need the church too. It's like, we don't even need the drug front. Just give me the money in my car. You know what I mean? Like,
CNN's Victor Blackwell asked Spell why he was asking vulnerable people to hand over their $1,200 stimulus checks. The pastor said it was because some evangelists don't receive stimulus money. Quote, if you can, give your stimulus package to evangelists and missionaries who not get the stimulus package, which I don't think being a missionary or an evangelist precludes you from getting that. I think you just have to.
yeah, why do evangelists not get it?
No, I don't know, because he wants you to go to
Because
his-
what I say, you believe.
Yeah. So that was that was from April 19th.
What an evil fuck. Yeah.
Oh, well, this is from yesterday.
Oh, it gets more evil.
Oh,
Good.
it gets hilarious. This is from yesterday. This is from WBRZ ABC2 in Baton Rouge. Tony Spell, a local pastor who was charged in recent weeks after he flagrantly defied the state stay-at-home order by holding services at Life Tabernacle Church, is now facing criminal charges.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
According to the Central Police Department, Spell is accused of aggravated assault related to an incident that happened Sunday. According to police reports, witnesses saw Spell nearly strike a protester with a church bus.
Oh, my God.
What?
Yeah, that makes
What in
sense.
the what?
Surveillance video caught the bus stopping partway down the church driveway and backing up towards the entrance where a protester was standing on the shoulder of the road. Still moving in reverse, the vehicle then pulled onto the shoulder and slammed the brakes just 5 feet away from the protester. Police later used witness video to confirm the incident, and I watched the video, and everything I just said is exactly the way it fucking happened.
Wow.
Spell was booked into the East Baton Rouge Parish Prison Tuesday. The protester, identified by CBS affiliate WAFB as Trey Bennett, told the station that he at first thought Spell was, quote, just turning around his bus and was going to pull away, but he just kept coming. I quote, I could see him driving the bus. He was honking his horn loudly at me and making gestures suggesting that he was yelling while driving. It didn't seem real.
He clearly had road rage.
It didn't seem real until he was physically in my face with a bus. According to
I mean, that's pretty fucking
that's pretty real. Shit got real.
Yeah, when someone steps up to your face with a bus. I mean, he said that's a weird way of phrasing it.
It
He was
is.
all up in my face with a bus.
Yeah. He was all up.
Why don't you get your bus out of my face, bro?
According to local media, Bennett had been urging people not to attend in-person church services at the pastor's church due to the corona epidemic. Ahead of his arrest on Tuesday, Spell confirmed to WAFB that he had been the person driving the bus and that he wanted to confront the protester at one point before his wife advised him against doing so.
Confronting him?
So I guess he was like, I'm going to go out there and give him a piece of his mind. And his wife was like, honey, don't. He's like, all right, I'm going to get in the bus and drive around until I feel better.
I'm sure a lot of
Great
you guys.
cover story.
Oh yeah, this guy's been,
Get in this bus, and when I feel better,
Well, that was what I said. He actually does have a reason that I'll get to. Quote, that man has been in front of my church driveway for 3 weeks now, he told the station. Quote, he shoots people obscene finger gestures and shouts vulgarities. Quote, I was
guy rules.
yeah, sounds cool.
Yeah, shout out to Trey in Baton Rouge. I know we got some listeners in Baton Rouge. If one of y'all buys Trey lunch, I'll pay you back.
Yeah.
From the damn Patreon coffers. I was pulling in from my bus route, picking up black children who haven't eaten because of this sinister policy that has closed the schools, he continued. I was going to approach the gentleman and ask him to leave. However, Bennett has pushed back on Spell's claim, telling WAFB that his protests have been peaceful. Quote, I just stand there with a sign. I don't say anything to anybody. So that was his excuse, was that he was going to feed poor black children, which I will say, the sad part about this is that that part of it is right. The fact that schools have closed, there are millions and millions of poor
You're
children
right on
that
school lunches. And
yeah,
stuff,
that aren't eating right now. So really, if anything, this should spring some government somewhere to at least come up with some sort of food relief, so we don't have fucking psychopaths running people over in a fucking bus.
Here's the thing, though: when we all get that one-time check, problem solved.
Yeah, my problems are already solved. Yeah.
Yeah, but I would love to see this guy's tearful breakdown of why is God testing me.
Oh shit, he ain't even doing that. He's already out on bail. He's
out on bail?
Oh, he's out, and he's just being like, I'm having church tonight.
I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall of the why is God testing me.
I don't know. So the only people that have the why is God testing me thoughts are fucking Catholics and like real
People who actually believe in God.
Yeah, no,
They're
they're
just grifters.
no goddamn like
That's
these like
true.
American Protestant fucking shitheads of their God is themselves and money. They don't care. It's
I don't know. Attempting to run over someone with a bus is like such an act of like, it's just like it's so lacking in subtlety.
God, why are you making me do this?
Yeah, God's forcing my foot. Yeah, like
stop making me steer towards this man with a sign.
with a bus.
Yeah.
Shame on you.
Oh, no, God,
no
yeah.
subtlety.
Yeah. So, but yeah. Anyway, that's the Pastor Spell story. We'll keep updating you on that situation as it develops.
That guy is immediately hateable. I wanted to punch your computer. That guy sucks so bad.
Just an immediate heel.
I heard about him first when he first got that ticket, and he fucking took a picture of it on his phone and was just sharing it to social media. Like, this is what happens when you defy the government because you love God or whatever. The fuck.
And it's like he's one of those people, like what you were saying with like having that moment of doubt. There is no moment of doubt to be had because as soon as he got arrested, that's money right there. He can use that. It's the same as any like politician, like any sort of
All press is
perceived
good press.
persecution. My God, that's just print money, baby.
He's out on bail. He's going 2 Live Crew.
Yeah.
Fucking nothing's gonna stop him.
Banned in the USA.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Upon being released from jail, Pastor Tony Spell
Oh, yeah, this guy.
of the Life Tabernacle Church in the city of Central Louisiana was fitted with an ankle bracelet and placed under house arrest after he would not promise to maintain social distancing and hold church services, his attorney confirmed last Sunday. Spell then showed up to his church Sunday service to cheers and applause, according to a live stream on Facebook, with the ankle bracelet. He showed off his ankle bracelet while standing in front of the congregation, claiming, "I'm not hiding anymore. It's a dirty, rotten, crying shame when you have to hide in America," he said. Joseph Long, Spell's attorney, who almost has no hair left to pull out, characterized the judge's order as forcing Spell to stop, quote, preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ to his congregation. The judge has found him in contempt of court, refusing to promise, Long said. Obviously, we believe this is an illegal order in violation of the Constitution, and we will litigate the issue. Spell told CNN that he hosted around 1,200 people last Sunday at his church.
I don't know about you guys. Sam, were you raised religiously?
No.
Okay, so I think I was the only person here raised religiously.
Yeah.
And I know from the amount of time I haven't been to church since the time I was 12
Yeah.
that I have to play 30 years of catch up in order to get to heaven. These people know that you miss a day. That's 28 extra minutes longer it takes on the slow trudge towards heaven. So like
On the road to the pearly gates.
on the road to the
Not
pearly
there
gates.
paying their way in.
Yeah, it's not like you can skip a couple days and still go to heaven. Like you're going to go to hell if you quit.
Is that part of it?
I don't know, probably.
I genuinely don't. I don't know. It seems to me like most people just kind of like,
Well, it's like
go for Christmas and Easter and their mom's birthday or whatever.
Well, yeah, because they low-key don't believe in God, and they're just being
Right.
like, well, this makes the thought of mortality easier for some people to digest, and yeah, I don't know. I guess you just like people are afraid of the darkness.
It's
and
like
they need to be
just
led into the light. It's like it's just that
do
you
what
want money.
Sam does and give out your fucking cell phone number.
Yeah.
For real, Zoom.
Just
Yeah.
do anything but this
Yeah,
bullshit.
More
Yeah.
people should do what I do.
But
Yeah.
That's what I'm always saying.
But
I agree.
what I was saying when we covered him the first time last week is that now they gave him an ankle bracelet. Now they've given him a thing he can talk about. You know what I mean? Like it's like
Pour some fuel on the fire.
yeah, they've just given him another. It's not like he was gonna ever listen to you. So either put him in jail and set the bond really high if you mean it,
Right.
or don't even fuck with it and just ignore him, because you only have two strategies: either suppress this guy as hard as you possibly can, or just fucking just let
throw
it
him
be
in
a
jail,
fart,
lock away
fart-
the key.
let him be a fart in the wind. Either way, giving him an ankle bracelet to fucking talk about and using his sermon is dog shit. You know what I mean? This
Yeah.
ankle bracelet, like the crown of thorns, sat upon our Lord and Savior's head. This ankle bracelet now sits upon my leg. You know?
Well, I mean, I suppose it really sucks to be a part of that community where that's taking place. But
Yeah.
if it further posits like evangelists and these like public enemy number one, I'm all for that.
Yeah. Ray, are you on Facebook?
I'm on Zanga, LiveJournal, and Clubhouse.
What do you talk about on Clubhouse?
I talk about the life. I talk about getting out of lines. I talk about going this way. It's better than waiting in line. I talk about jail steaks, medium rare, if you're not an aristocrat, I talk about a lot of fucking things. I talk about how I miss my sense of smell. That was before COVID.
Oh, that was just because of the cigarettes.
Well, for a second, I thought I had COVID because, when I couldn't smell nothing. But then I realized that it was just the cigarettes. See, only cigarettes act that way. If it had been COVID, I wouldn't have smelled a thing. I would have been dead.
This is about a particular Facebook group, which during COVID, I really realized that the Facebook group, if you want the dirt, like the real crazy shit online, which unfortunately I can't get enough of crazy stuff, Facebook groups is where it's at. And pretty early on, and unfortunately I think this group has either been removed from Facebook for being too insane, or perhaps just they kind of shut it down. But the group is called Reopen Alabama. That's where I'm from, and they had this Facebook group where anybody could comment with whatever their crazy theories were about why everything was shutting down.
See, it's like the life of a wise guy. You see, there's no way out except in a coffin.
They whacked Reopen Alabama. And there was nothing we could do about it.
There was nothing we could do about it. We had to sit there and take it. It was real greaseball shit.
Amongst the Silicon Valley types.
Yeah.
This is about Reopen Alabama, and this is from May of 2020. The worst Facebook group ever, and by the way, if anybody wants, please join it. My DMs are open. Fucking let's talk about it because it's insane. Is Reopen Alabama is what it's called, and it is just 30,000 of the biggest psychopaths you can imagine, all hooting like fucking insane chimpanzees about this shit, just being like, the fucking Dillards is making me wear a mask. Like, there was literally a post. Uh-oh, what is it? Is this from... What?
Just
what does it say?
Two Fords parked next to each other and says, when sucking cock isn't gay enough.
Why?
What?
I don't get it. Why?
People who own Chevys apparently hate people who own Fords.
That's the heavy Chevy talking, brother.
I didn't know this until like 3 days ago when I found this group.
That is fantastic.
Well, like I said, I've known just from being I purposely, when I'm on the road, stop at like big truck stops just to look at the weird merch. So I've known about this for a while because it's like rampant in the sticker section of the truck stops. But that's fucking crazy. But this one, my favorite thing that's been happening in the Reopen Alabama, because when I say it's like crazy people, it is. I mean, it's literally people posting shit like, this top CDC official says, quote, we'll just get rid of all the white people in the United States who refuse vaccines. And then
I think I saw that.
They post a video of that, and then this woman just writes, monsters! There was one where they were dragging Brian from the bottle tree, from Saturn, Brian Teasley.
No, wait, on this site?
Yeah, because
the group.
Yeah, on the group, because like Teasley got into it with somebody who was just he was like, yeah, we're gonna we're gonna have to require masks when we reopen and shit like that. And this person was just like, well, I'm not wearing a fucking mask. And Teasley was like, well, I'm not letting you in the place.
Yeah, I saw some posts he made about it, and that he was like, this is not like, don't fucking contest me on this this shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's my business, all right?
It's his business, and it's one of the few queer accepting places
absolutely,
in that town. So there are going to be people with AIDS and HIV that are immunocompromised. Like, it's just, not that you should ever be, operating without a goddamn mask as long as this shit's going on. But for that particular business in that part of town, it's like, yeah, I totally understand that.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's crazy.
So, but anyway, like in the comments, like this woman like wrote this whole thing about Teasley, and then in the comments was like somebody was just like, Saturn, interesting that they use that because Saturn is a satanic symbol. And then like they wrote this like long crazy thing about like how like it's like the mark of the beast and shit like that. Like these people are
still blaming stuff on Satan.
Yeah, dude, they're insane. And the funniest shit, though, my favorite phenomenon with this is like regular Republican people just coming in there with their normie shit. And it's like, bro, you have stepped so far into the deep end, you have no idea what you're in. There's this guy who keeps doing it, and he's my favorite guy on there. His name is Rick. He keeps posting shit like that. Like, for instance, they have these memes where it's like, you know, Bill Gates is drinking African blood right now. like crazy shit about Bill Gates, which, you know, I'm sure he's not great, Bill Gates, but like, come on. And he, because he doesn't know he's in the crazy zone, thinks that they're liberal. And he says, hey, invent something that people like to use and you'll make money. That's how Bill Gates got successful. And it's like, buddy, that's
what?
Like, he's trying to here's what he thinks. He thinks that when they posted that, they're trying to say like, well, Bill Gates is a billionaire and it's bad to be a billionaire. And he's coming in with the traditional like Republican capitalist take of being like, well, hey, you know, he earned that money, which is a whole like whatever. It's a whole nother stupid discussion, but then everybody jumps on him and just was like, Bill Gates is a reptoid. You know, it has been proven that, you know,
he is a reptar from Rugrats. And he constructed this virus inside of a computer.
Yeah, like
it's so weird when they go way beyond like arguing the points, and they're just like, you know what, you're not a human being.
That's what I'm saying. This Reopen Alabama thing has come completely unmoored from reality.
And
it's
you were sent by Satan himself.
Oh, I've got one.
And I love it too, where people are like contesting someone like Ryan's like ability to reopen their business. Like I'm nowhere. I've never been, nor will I ever go.
Yeah.
But Bill Gates is a reptar, and he created it. He created it in Huntsville.
This is one about the Brian Teasley thing, because he named his. If you don't know, Brian Teasley, he owns like one of the coolest venues in Birmingham. He was the drummer for one of my favorite bands, the Manor Astroman, and Polyphonic Spree for that fucking matter. Great dude. But he themed this bar. It's called Saturn because Alabama is where they developed the Saturn V rocket, which took us to the moon and shit like that. So it's a space themed bar.
It's also where Sun Ra claimed he was from.
That's right. Yes. And there was somebody in the comments who was like, you know, oh, well, you know, the bars, like they mentioned like why it's called Saturn, because the previous guy that I mentioned was just like, Saturn is a traditional satanic symbol, you know, and then somebody responded to it.
Yep, that's it. Nailed it, dude. Yeah.
Like, yo, it's a NASA themed bar. And then this guy, Bobby comments, space and NASA are fake. So that says a lot.
Okay.
Space is fake.
Space is fake?
He says.
That's like a flat earther thing, right?
Oh, no. This is Bible. He is like a geocentric, like Bible guy. He says, Tower of Babel? Huh. Nimrod was trying to reach the crystal glass-like ceiling called the firmament. Had to be stopped. Nothing's getting out of here until Jesus returns.
Good Christ.
See, I thought that's what a flat earther believed. They believe it's just flat and then there's a big dome.
I guess so. Yeah, it's like the firmament, but they don't explain how is the moon and sun move. It's wild. But this is the type of shit. So this guy is just wandering into these things, just being like, you know, oh, well, I mean, you know, masks and distancing, that sucks, but, you know, I'm just happy to see corporations mitigate the spread of this virus through these inconvenient measures. Like, he's just saying shit like that, like being all about corporations. And it's like, dude, they're talking about how space isn't real, bro. You are being so normie right now, and it's fantastic.
You gotta take a walk every now and again.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't want to be one of these like bunker eating cans of beans every day of my fucking life. People too. You got to get out.
A lot of that going around in the Reopen Alabama Facebook group that I brought up last week.
You got like people who are like becoming agoraphobes and insane people in that regard too.
Oh, they're already insane. It is that group. Like I said on the last time we talked about it, that group is 30,000 of the craziest psychopaths in the state of Alabama. Mm-hmm. They're all in one spot. And this was just stunning. Okay, so have y'all ever seen one of these in a parking lot? I'll put this picture up on our
solar
Twitter.
panel.
Yeah, so it is. It's basically if you have a large parking lot like a Lowe's or a Walmart or something, and you're expecting extra crowds and you want to have extra security, you park one of these things in the back of the parking lot, and what it is it's a tower with extra security cameras. Okay. So it essentially covers your ass in a lawsuit if somebody gets
their car broken
into or whatever, and you don't want to actually pay for a full-time security camera to be in the back of a parking lot that normally people don't use. So they would use this on Labor Day or whenever, a big crowd is expected at a store. But it's basically just this little trailer. It's got a solar panel on top and then a large pole that extends up with surveillance cameras and also a public address system, because I think they can, use this, like cops would use this too, if there was like a big parade or something like that, right? So they have one of these parked in the parking lot of the Lowe's in Montgomery, Alabama. And this guy, Shane Spellman, writes the following. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, remember a couple months ago when I mentioned a post-apocalyptic society? Well, here we go.
I think the pro wrestling voice is appropriate.
Okay, ladies and germs, remember?
Anyways.
Yeah. This contraption is in the Lowe's of Montgomery parking lot. It is steadily spewing Nazi propaganda, shit on a loudspeaker with cameras. It even... So what
Is
they
it just
did,
blasting German?
no. So what they did was,
Yeah.
no. What they did was they programmed this thing to say you have to wear a mask inside the store. It's company policy.
Oh, okay.
Right. So just if you park way the hell back in the parking lot, the idea is like, oh shit, I need a mask.
Yeah, remind you to get
It
your
reminds you to
mask.
get your fucking mask, right? But this guy is saying that it's and then he says it even has a Spanish version for the border jumpers.
Oh, you hate to see that.
Like we didn't see that coming a mile
It
away.
wasn't much of a change up.
Nope. He says, I'm so glad that my father didn't live to see this day. 18 months in a German concentration camp for this bullshit to be on our own soil. May God help us
Your
all.
dad skipped out on your family. He didn't. He skipped out. He moved to Europe, okay? He didn't want to raise your dumbass. That's what happened.
You know what's better than you? French prostitutes. Wine.
Although,
cheese.
I can't really argue with that logic.
No.
I mean, when you see a fucking security camera in a Lowe's parking lot, what do you go? You think Nazi Germany, concentration camp.
It's so
Same
thing.
thing.
Go into Lowe's, that's where the fucking ovens are.
Lowe's
Literally.
knows.
They got a big
Lowe's,
one. in the
Lowe's
back.
knows too much. Yeah.
These are a few of the comments. Shout out to Will Self. Will Self and I've never met Will Self, but we are both in a lot of the same kind of right-wing-ish Facebook groups, and we both fuck with the people on there a lot. So even though I've never met the man, we've been warriors in the trenches of Facebook for decades at this point.
Dedicated trolls.
Yeah, absolutely. Will just said, hey, these have been around, LOL. Like, as in saying these are not new. And then Shane replies, not like this. I am 50 and I have never heard of this.
That would be a great T-shirt. I am 50 and I've never heard of this.
I was like, I've seen them. I'm not even that perceptive. I've seen these before. Julie Perkins says, what's it saying? And Shane Spellman writes back, COVID propaganda. And then this is my favorite one. Alan Jackson, who... I don't know if this is way down yonder on the Chattahoochee.
Yeah, there you go.
I hope not, because Alan Jackson says these are...
that being such a unique name, there's no way anyone else could be named Alan Jackson. Ask John Smith.
Alan Jackson said, these are at every Walmart now. Same thing. Nazi instruction machine for the easily led lemmings. So
I think that's what the item number is called when you order it for the store. Nazi instructing lemming machine.
it's so funny. And like I said, join this group. By all means, if you're listening to the sound of my voice, join Reopen Alabama if you just want to get real down and weird with it, because it's the craziest people in the entire world. Mm-hmm. But just be aware that, like every reactionary shithead, they are so sensitive. So you can't insult them directly. You have to kind of make fun of them like you have to go above their head, because they will straight up tell on you and get you banned.
They've already got anger pre-cum coming out of their dick before they even before you say anything.
Absolutely.
I've got both of my...
fucking say something then. They're already freaking out.
I can almost guarantee you there's no positive posts in there other than people being like, I know a secret bar we can go to.
The only positive bipartisan things you'll hear about COVID are people who have parents of a differing political ideology. So they're like, it'll probably be okay. I hope. That's the only people who are like that.
Yeah, it's weird how there's 4 groups of people. Like the one you just described, the people who take it seriously, the people who don't believe it's even a thing.
Yeah. They think it's fake.
And the people that believe it's a thing but don't really care.
Yeah, that which are like the most hateable. The people who know the repercussions and simply don't care.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy right in the middle of the clip.
If I get it, everybody else getting it. Hey, it's life.
Dude, you're a fucking issue, man.
Yeah, that's the kind of people that spread herpes.
Oh, for sure. But it's like have a little like, think about it. It's like it's just interesting listening to young people be like, hey man, if I die, I die. It's like it captures that sort of like mentality of young people where they really think. It's like a lot of people like overdose and shit when they're young. It's because they don't think they think they're invincible.
Yeah.
But it's like this isn't something that's just going to kill you. That's what it's like. What is lost on them.
In fact, it doesn't matter because it probably
won't kill you.
It'll kill your stupid parents and your
who don't care anyway. And so
Yeah.
it makes you feel kind of like this is fruitless.
Yeah. Your parents who are going to die, and as they're dying, they're going to think they did the right thing.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they'll think they did the right thing by getting mad at a solar panel and a camera.
That's right. Yeah.
It was burping Nazi stuff at me. It said, "Wash your hands." I was like, "Fuck you! I'm getting a frozen pizza."
I'm scratching my balls right now.
Fuck you! I'm gonna buy DVDs at Walmart. Non-essential purchase.
Go to the
Fuck you.
$5 bin and touch them all,
I'm
baby.
gonna lick a couple and then I'm gonna buy one.
I'm gonna actually do a cannonball into the DVD bin.
Yeah, to the one where they're all $6 and there's a bunch of copies of like Eddie and the Sixth Man and shit in there. I'm gonna do a cannonball on that.
What's the best gift you've ever received, Ray?
Outside of my child, I'd say probably a lighter that doubles as a clock.
Ooh, that's cool. Do you have one of them gun lighters too?
You know, people keep giving me gun lighters, but the thing is, I'm not trying to catch a charge. I'm not putting it in it. And also, every time I light a cigarette, it looks like I'm about to blow my fucking brains out.
You don't want that. Well, one of the best gifts I've ever received, COVID or otherwise, was from our listener, Red Burr, who actually... I don't remember why. Maybe I have just missed that part of the episode, but Red Burr sent us a slide whistle, like a real one, like from the circus.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and so I just wanted to play this clip from July 31st.
You know why he did it?
Why?
It was out of respect.
It's out of respect.
That's right. You know. You already know.
This clip is from July 31st, 2020, and this is the introduction of Red Burr's slide whistle.
Sometimes podcasts can be a real bummer.
But
Not all the time.
Now with things like that.
Oh, not when we got a goddamn slide whistle from our friend Red Burr. He says, a gift for you. Keep up the insanity from Red Burr. Sent us an actual, honest-to-God slide whistle.
That looks like that costs some money. Thank you, Red Burr.
I've never seen a metal slide whistle. They've always been plastic when I've seen them.
You've seen a slide whistle?
Yeah, you've never seen them? Like a little toy one for kids.
This is
this
is like a professional deal.
Yeah.
Look at the...
This is like
They use this for Bugs Bunny cartoons.
This is
for
the
sure.
this is the American song whistle.
this is like from like some sort. I mean, this place he got it from a high school or something. Can you? We all need to get that. Can you imagine a chorus of those?
a 3 slide whistle attack like the Leonard Skinner.
I mean,
of
like
slide
6
whistles.
of them. Yeah, like 6 of them going at all different octaves.
Yeah, the way Skinner had 3 guitars, we'd have 3 slide whistles.
3 slide whistle attack.
Yeah. Oh, well, and you could do the if I leave here tomorrow, would you still remember me? 'Cause I must be traveling on now.
Do Freebird. Do
You can just
Freebird.
literally just do it back and forth.
Can you imagine like 8 of those doing the solo for Freebird? It's like the last thing a clown thinks before it has an aneurysm.
Yeah, no, it's a clown funeral.
Yeah, it's a clown. A clown funeral.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah, like
The
play
hearse-
taps on those.
The hearse is really small.
Yeah.
And then they bring a huge coffin out of it. Just gigantic.
too big, let's
Yeah.
say.
Well, it's
Comically large.
Well, it's got to accommodate those shoes.
Right. But it's
And then they open it to have like open casting and snakes fly out.
All the flowers shoot water at you when you get close to them.
like the person
And people are still sad. People are just bawling their eyes out still because they love this guy so much. But then they sit on a whoopee cushion and just still cry. They can't even find humor in it.
the priest makes his way up to the front. He slips on a banana peel and he pulls the readings out of his curtain. It's just like a bunch of curtains coming out of his. It's just a wacky funeral.
I want.
he was a clown and child molester
And a serial killer.
and
He
a
had
serial killer.
14 children in his crawl space.
Who
But
doesn't?
when you hear there's families crying hearing that the 21 slide whistle salute
My question is,
trying to pick at his funeral.
do any bands actually use this in their music? Or is it just for sound effect purpose?
Yeah,
My
like,
bet- my
who in
bet's-
Slide Whistle Weekly is like holding it, modeling it.
My bet is on a jam band. Out there somewhere is a 4th tier jam band that has a guy who can just wail on this fucking thing.
I'm thinking
That's a wacky jam band.
bad American folk music where they're really trying to
yeah.
put a twist on it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it. Kind of almost cabaret level. American.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
Just like that. Just like that.
Yeah, but my guess is a 4th tier jam band has a guy,
Yeah.
his name is probably Vibe, and he can fucking
A jam.
Well, he has a slide whistle guy whose name is Vibe.
yeah. Well, no. See, I think he's probably like the conga player. He's the miscellaneous percussion guy, and everyone who knows their music knows that as soon as they play, fucking Lumpkin 5 or whatever the song is, the fucking Vibe is going to come out from behind the conga
dais,
drums.
yeah.
Yeah, he's going to come down and he is going to wail on that fucking slide whistle, bro.
Their friend wanted to be in the band, but he wasn't really musical.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
There's
dude,
always
we
that
gotta
guy.
have Vibe, man.
Yeah.
He's the guy who gets the the coke. And
They
stuff.
already had a bass player.
He's the gopher.
Oh yeah, bass player's first to go.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, fun to be had. There's a lot of bands that you can start with those things. It's good to know. It's good to know how to play those things. They come in
Yeah.
handy.
Welcome to T-Bone and the Cock. Thanks, Cock.
We got a wild show for you today. First, let's go to Rivers Langley with the traffic.
Fucking Azusa's on fire. There's no traffic because the freeway's caught on fire. yeah. The fire's heading for the Sriracha factory.
This is man. We need to just. This is the beginning of the first episode of the Zoo Crew thing.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, people need something for their drive. Like now, their drive time commute is like, hey, you out there just aimlessly driving around, wondering the purpose of it all? There's gonna be a lot of traffic today because everyone's unemployed.
Ray, what celebrity do you think had the hardest time during COVID?
Probably me.
It was you? Yeah. What were you doing this whole time?
Well, I was living my life like a nobody. You know what I mean? I was sitting at home thinking about smoking. I know I shouldn't smoke, but I try not to. I understand what's that guy on your Carson? Carson Gladcock or whatever. He had some trouble trying to quit too. So.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So you were just kind of stuck there with the comedians that you live with in the compound in the valley.
Yeah, egg noodles and ketchup everywhere.
Wow. Well, there was obviously a lot of celebrities that kind of had a bit of trouble, but I unfortunately think that probably no one had a worse time during all of this than ex WCW professional wrestlers. And I'm
one too many knocks on the head.
yes, yeah, and I'm speaking, of course.
I can relate to that.
Yeah, I guess Marty is more known for his WWF career. But speaking, of course, of the subjects of these next two clips, they are from May 22nd and August 6th, respectively. This is the COVID fallout for wrestlers Marcus Buff Bagwell, and then the insane story of Marty Jannetty and the murder. Let's see. Oh, I've got this from Cameo. Buff Bagwell. He's buff and he's got the stuff. Former WCW wrestler is on Cameo. And also recently, I think, broke his face in some sort of like a car crash or a motorcycle accident or something like that. And in this, he is on all of the pills in Georgia and doing cameos.
I am buff. I am the stuff. And the girls just can't get enough. I mean, you kidding me? I've got a broke face, and I'm still good looking. Look at me.
His face is so swollen. It's like, dude, you couldn't have waited 1 week to do these cameos, man.
He needs money for painkillers, clearly.
So I'll just say before we go any further, wrestlers have a long, sad tradition of the, getting addicted to pills and shit like that. From the last couple of interviews I saw of Buff Bagwell's, he seemed to be doing just fine. So I think this is legitimately like, hopefully he's just sticking to his prescription. But why he decided to do these fucked up is beyond me, and it's very funny.
Do not adjust your screen. I'm still this good looking. Are you kidding me, brother? But at the same time, this shout out goes to Dan. Eliza tells me that you're going stir crazy being locked in during this virus.
Holy cow.
Well, guess what, motherfucker? We all are. Are you fucking kidding me? Shit.
Lil Wayne on Lean is more coherent.
He is wearing...
Lil Wayne on like 6 different pills is more coherent than this.
Buff is wearing a Abraham Lincoln stovetop hat with lightning and Japanese characters spray painted on it, and he's got a large bruise, I guess, on the right side of his face. It's out there.
I'm about to tear my own house up right the fuck now. I'm thinking about putting a chokehold on my girlfriend.
Oh,
who's
no.
Also the cameraman, just to end this motherfucker. I'm over it. But fucking, hold on.
Why they didn't just delete that and do another one? Like, how am I watching this?
Maybe they did it before without that, and they're like, add in a part about strangling your wife.
Oh my god!
They paid $40. Come on,
bro. You still have TV, YouTube, so you can toss back a 6-pack and watch a few great matches. But for right now, put on the Grateful Dead and Rip Nuts. I'm telling you, that's what you do. Buff Daddy is out.
Is Buff Bagwell anybody's favorite wrestler?
He is worth going back and re-examining. I think Buff Bagwell, genuinely like one of the funniest fucking heels just of all time. Like, he never wastes a single moment on camera. You will never catch Buff Bagwell not doing something funny. Even if he's not speaking, he's in the back flexing and looking at his own muscles. He's fucking hilarious. So he is absolutely worth going back and watching some of his matches. He's not the top of anybody's list for sure, but underappreciated member of the NWO for sure.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
Luke was telling me that yesterday.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember.
But yeah, at this late stage, oh wow, I love it. He's speedy recovery Rita Buff Bagwell.
Yeah, holy shit.
Oh Lord. He was the first person to get the big the Cat in the hat over on TV before he switched to kind of more Slash-esque top hats. He was wearing a
Trip hat.
Yeah.
Kind you see at fucking raves.
At raves, yeah. He would wear like rave hats and goggles and shit. Yeah.
That used to be really cool, to be fair.
Yeah.
At one point, that was cool.
Yeah, like steampunk style.
Yeah, or more like
clubs,
like 97,
yeah, like
the
house music, rave.
People
type
would have
shit.
the pacifiers so they don't grind their teeth and shit. Yeah, that kind of shit.
Okay.
He didn't dress straight rave, but he took a few things from that aesthetic, and especially the Dr. Seuss Cat in the Hat. Except if I recollect correctly, his was black and white and said like NWO on it and stuff like that. But then he went to probably the only person in human history who's ever worn a top hat with lightning bolts on the side. It's just not a thing,
Nah, Slash probably did that.
Yeah.
No, I feel like Slash always had like nice. He wouldn't ruin one of his nice Stetsons at the fucking Alvin's Island in Gulf Shores, Alabama airbrush station. Put a Confederate flag on it, dude. Come on. Y'all know who Marty Jannetty is?
No,
I've heard of him.
Marty Jannetty, former WWE superstar. He was once upon a time tag team champion with Shawn Michaels as part of a late 80s, early 90s powerhouse tag team called the Rockers.
Okay.
Shawn Michaels, of course, went on to have a Hall of Fame storied WWE career.
The Heartbreak Kid.
A Heartbreak Kid. Marty Jannetty, Shawn Michaels famously threw him through the barbershop window, and then shortly thereafter, WWE fired him, and he's pretty much been on the skids ever since. It's a pretty sad story because Marty Jannetty is not a bad wrestler. If you watch his old matches, man, he's pretty good. He just ain't Shawn Michaels. That's the sad part. Is like he's in this tag team with one of the greatest.
Salieri Mozart situation.
Totally, right? So, more recently, the erstwhile WWE megastar has been making waves on social media through his bizarre and often rambling and discombobulated post. For instance, this is Marty Jannetty, who, by the way, is from Columbus, Georgia originally, and now resides somewhere in the woods in Alabama. This is from Easter Sunday 2019. Of all the things I've ever done in my life, it's been a whole lot. Some of the shit doesn't even matter if you don't believe it, but one thing I haven't done, I've never had sex with a blind girl. I loves my blind people. They're more special than us who can see. Just wondering if I could make them smile. They deserve it. To me, they're better than us. So he wants to put a smile on a blind girl's face by having
Fucking
the
her.
sex with her.
That's such like a caveman way to think.
Yeah, I can make you happy with his dick.
Well,
Just like, how do I make blind people happy? Have sex with them.
Right? That makes everyone happy.
and it's on Easter. That's my favorite part. He's like probably reading like a fucking picture book about Jesus curing the blind and shit. This is another random post for last year. What the hell else am I going to do during the week? Drink, smoke a little plant, possibly throw a little powder up, and then have sex with all the neighbor girls. But it's got to stop. I am not tanning right now. I am not studying film. Hell, I ain't even doing shit but drinking, fucking, and waiting for the weekends.
Studying film.
I think if I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, I think he means watching like wrestling tape to be a better wrestler, because he does still go out occasionally and wrestle.
Right.
But, when this story that I'm about to read...
He's not like reviewing Trolls World Tours. Whatever.
Maybe. I don't know. That's the other thing. That is entirely likely. I think maybe he means like watching, wrestling,
right,
to
yeah.
get better.
Like football players used to.
Right, yeah, reviewing tape. Here's another one from last year. Dude, where's my phone? Last I remember having it, it was at my neighbor girl's house up on her roof because I could get a better view of her neighbor girl who was laying out by her pool naked. But I went back on the roof and it wasn't there.
Sounds like my man's just a laying pipe around his neighborhood, just being a dang old sexual predator.
Well, this is the real famous one before today. This is from 2017. Jannetty claimed that his Facebook was hacked after he posted about how his daughter got a DNA test and wasn't really his daughter, so now he can have sex with her. Quote,
nice.
If you love...
I mean, what else do you say in that situation?
Right? What your hands are tied at that point.
You've been wanting to all your life.
This is a bit of a...
It's the Woody Allen we call
That's
it.
what I'm saying. Well, I was saying he's the backwoods Woody Allen.
The back Woody Allen.
Yeah. If you loves me as much as I loves you, you will give me your opinion. Just did DNA 2 weeks ago. She's not my daughter. We both held out of sex because you don't that. But now that we ain't, from a guy's side, she's fucking hot. But she's been daughter. I want to, but I can't get past that.
Can I put on my guy hat for a minute?
That's what you say. Yeah.
I just want to make my daughter happy. How do you do that?
With sex.
Well,
it turns out I think this guy is the real heartbreak kid.
I mean, it sounds like it.
Wait,
Well,
does CTE make you horny?
apparently. Yeah. Well, what's funny about this is, he said that he got hacked, that it wasn't him, even though it's written exactly how he writes stuff. Well, this morning, Marty Jannetty woke up and decided to confess to a murder. This is from his Facebook.
That happens.
This is from his Facebook. I never told no one this, even my brother Gino, because Gino would have killed him, and I didn't want my brother gone. Hell, he'd only recently come home from the Vietnam. I was 13, working at Victory Lane's bowling alley, buying weed from and then he uses a homophobic slur that worked there, and he put his hands on me. He dragged me around to the back of the building. You already know what he was going to try to do. This was the very first time I made a man disappear. They never found him. They should have looked in the Chattahoochee River. So he's admitted to killing a man, and then just for reference, his kind of on-again, off-again partner is named Winnie. He says, but Winnie, I likes you so damn much. Probably my favorite, but I promised myself way back then nobody would ever hurt me again, and that includes you. I loved you, but you hurt me with your fucking Jamaican jealousy. You can go your own way. I don't need you. So I guess his kind of
Jamaican person.
Yeah, it's Jamaican, I guess. Winnie and Jannetty were apparently in a relationship, telling another fan they had split up. So somebody posted on his Facebook, "Are you okay?" And he says, "Me and Winnie just had a fallout. But if you're asking about the other thing, yes, that was 1 billion years ago. Plus, I have the satisfaction of knowing that bitch ass ninja never got another kid like that." So he's using some juggalo slang there, which is
I see.
Yeah. By the way, Jannetty is 60 years old, so the alleged incident would have taken place around 1973, and now the Columbus, Georgia Police Department are looking into the issue.
Right, yeah.
Trying to see if they have any old dusty cases from 73.
It sounds kind of unbelievable.
He was 13.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're not going to murder and disappear somebody at 13 and not have anybody catch on.
Yeah. I don't think I could do that now, No.
Definitely not you or I.
Come on.
Or maybe Carter.
You think I'm capable of murder?
I just think you're smart enough to get away with it, man.
Thanks, Sam.
So, as you might imagine, podcasting more or less every day, we started to hit on recurring bits. And one of my favorites was, and I believe it was Carter who asked, do we know anyone named Rob with 2 B's?
I'll tell you what, that Carter is stupid, but he is funny. Sorry about my horrifying laugh.
It's those eyes that you make when that crazy face that you make when you laugh. Oh,
sorry,
it shocks me to my core.
That's I can't watch funny movies or anything because I tend to frighten children. I was asked to leave Dr. Doolittle. That was almost 20 years ago.
And Doolittle, the Robert Downey Jr. one too, probably, right?
That's more of an adventure film.
Oh, that's fair. That's very good point.
Very funny, though. My horrifying laugh did get me kicked out of that one, too.
But yeah, so this next string of clips here, a lot of these came in from our listeners, actually, because we kind of threw it out to the Goods from the Woods Studiverse. We were like, hey, do you guys know anybody named Rob with 2 B's? And we got some great answers. So here is a small playlist all about the phenomenon of being named Rob with 2 B's. Every boss I've ever had was named Rob.
Rob?
I've worked for an unrelenting series of Robs.
Name one cool Rob.
I mean,
I don't
Rob
know if
Thomas.
Rob Thomas. That's about it.
I've never known anybody named Rob.
Rob Reiner. Like, I know good Robins. I know good Roberts.
Yeah.
Yeah, good Roberts.
Robinette.
Robinette, yeah. But
What?
That's Joe Biden's middle name.
Oh.
What the fuck? Now I'm really not voting for
Yeah,
him.
hell no. Joseph Robinette Biden Jr.
Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Never met a Rob. You ever met a guy named Rob with 2 B's?
That would be real bad.
How fat does that guy have to be?
I don't know why. As soon as you said that, I just pictured a big fat guy.
Fucking fat guy.
I don't know why.
It's Rob the Blob, everybody. Shut up.
That guy, to be fair, Rob the Blob could be a successful YouTube channel at this point in time. He could fucking just either eat stuff or rub.
Hello, everybody. Rob the Blob here.
I'm gonna rub mayonnaise into my stomach today.
They say that you're not supposed to eat an entire jar of mayonnaise with your sandwich. Well, today I'm here to prove them wrong. On Rob the Blobcast.
Here's the top 5 most interesting belches I've ever experienced.
Number 1, Four Loko.
Number 2, second breakfast at Denny's, Lord of the Rings 3.
Number 3, midnight snack eggs.
Dude.
God damn
Number
it,
4,
Rob.
midday snack eggs.
Midday snack eggs. Room temp.
I wonder if we have anyone who listens to this show
God
named Rob.
damn it.
Dude.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, we
I
probably
don't
got some
know.
Robs, but with 2 B's.
2 B's. Rob with 2 B's. Rob the Flop.
You should
dude.
Google if anybody's name is Robert with 2 B's. Because that would be the only way to justify double B Rob.
Wait, but what about Robbie?
Robbie is like a white guy with dreadlocks, but he knows. I know. I know. I just haven't had a chance to cut him.
Yeah, I know. I know. I should get a job.
Look, man. I mean, look. I would. The only reason I've got the dreads is because the lead singer of Perpetual Groove started me off with the beeswax at Bonnaroo 3 years ago, man.
I think my reggae band's taken off.
That's Robbie.
How disappointing would it be if, like, after the pandemic, he came out and was like, actually, it's Rob De Niro now. With 2 B's.
Oh, wait, did you find something?
Well, there's a Wikipedia of people with the surname of Rob with 2 B's.
That's less fun.
Yeah. But,
Anyone good?
let's see. English folk singer Ian Robb.
That's last name. That doesn't count.
Yeah. So, I don't know. There's bound to be some.
There's got to be some.
Bound to be somebody.
Anyone who knows someone named Rob with 2 B's, get at us on Twitter, please. And I don't know, describe them.
I believe Slobby Robbie is a
Slobby Robbie.
I think it's a Garbage Pail Kid. I really do. I really think that.
That sounds like a Garbage Pail Kid.
By the way, speaking of weight and stuff, we were talking about yesterday about a theoretical Rob with 2 B's.
Right. Rob the Blob. Yeah.
At
Good guy.
Paulo Zeggs, our friend Paulo Nelson says, fuck, guys, I went to college with a Rob with 2 B's.
Whoa.
And I said, no shit, what was he like? And Paulo says, God, it's been so long. He was from the middle of nowhere. He was very country, skinny as hell, lots of camo. I was
Sounds
like,
about right.
You know what? If he's not just a slovenly, guy sitting in the front seat reviewing Big Macs, then he should be a really rail thin fucking guy from like Kansas.
The Big Mac guy has a normal name.
It's Steven.
It's Joey.
Joey, that's right.
Joey.
Joey's back with Joey's super cool food reviews. Woo, 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 woo. Every episode.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So we have a Rob with 2 B's. It's official.
Damn.
Okay.
This is from my friend MC Birdface in Alabama. Dude, I have to tell you about the guy I know named Rob with 2 B's. So I was a freshman in college, and I started dating this really smoking hot girl way out of my league. Who knows what she saw in me? She also had another boyfriend.
Oh, fuck.
His name was Rob with 2 B's.
Of course.
And he was distance learning in Austria for the semester. So, of course, we had a natural rivalry.
Oh, wait. So he was the Birdface was the other guy.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good job, man.
But I love that he says we had a natural rivalry. I'm like, well, part of that might be that you were boning his girlfriend while he was in Austria.
that might cause a bit of resentment.
Animus.
Nah, don't hate the player, hate the game.
A little bit of animus.
You know, when my girlfriend cheated on me, was I mad at her new boyfriend or at her? No, I was mad at myself.
Yeah.
I remember telling that to the officer who was talking me down from the building I was about to jump off of.
Rob looked like Johnny Knoxville. He had a really cool look about him. Big glasses, hand-rolled cigarette, was a full-on wannabe European socialist. He exclusively listened to Eastern European 70s garage rock, and if you listen to 90s Estonian thrash, that just wasn't cool enough. It wasn't until like a year later that I found out this motherfucker's name was actually John and that he was using the Scottish abbreviation of his middle name to go by Rob with 2 B's.
Dude, there's nothing that pisses me off more than people who go by their goddamn middle. No.
That would be
fucking Paul over here in the corner.
It's only...
I hate those people too.
It's only bad when they have like a fucking weird middle name and they're trying to be like...
Oh, like one that rhymes with farter?
No, Carter's a fucking normal name.
I asked my friend one time, we started playing in this punk band when I was in high school, and I was like, you know what I might do if we get big? And he was immediately started rolling his eyes, and I was like... I might go by Paul Carter. He's like, do you think that's a good idea? And I remember him not even saying no. He was just like, you suck.
Yeah. That's a question I shouldn't even have to answer.
I thought about it before I moved out here. I was like, should I start going by Paul? And I remembered that Rivers and Joe have known me for 10 years. And they'd be like, why are you doing that? But anyway, yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, so he was abbreviating his middle name to go by Rob. Anyway, after
This all seems like stuff that him and the girl would like lay in bed and be like, right, he's a piece of shit, right? He's got like a cool, you know what I'm saying?
He says, anyway, after a natural rivalry and this girl having like 12 other boyfriends and us almost coming to fisticuffs several times.
Oh boy.
All 12 of them as a real Scott Pilgrim situation.
This is a real there's something about Mary situation.
I imagine he is the editor for some German literary magazine now or some bullshit.
He still hates the guy.
He was
oh my
like,
God.
you fucked his girlfriend.
And this was like 20 years ago. He wakes up every day fucking raw. And probably,
fucking dickhead.
He probably forgot about it. Then he heard
He's
that
over like
podcast,
saving the world
and
or
he's
some
been
shit.
fucking raging ever since.
Fucking Rob.
He was seriously the most pretentious person I've ever met. We ended up being cool with each other though after about 4 years.
That's good.
Isn't it you that always says time flattens it all out?
I believe that's Matthew McConaughey who said that.
Is that Rivers?
I said that in reference to, after a long enough time period, Korn and Britney Spears are the exact same thing.
Oh yeah,
That's what I was referencing.
Very astute observation.
Hey, also with 12 boyfriend girl rivals named Rob with 2 B's.
You know what? I respect you, Rob. I fucking hate you still, but I respect you, dude.
That bitch was cheating on us with 10 other guys, Rob.
What is Rob going to say? It's like, I'm sorry that you fucked my girlfriend. I don't know what to tell you.
I never understand situations where the people are mad at the person who's fucking their spouse or whatever. Like, you should be mad at the person you're dating.
Yeah, I get it.
It's because they would have fucked any person. It doesn't matter. This other person that's fucking him doesn't matter. They would have cheated on you fucking regardless.
I guess I would feel a twinge of regret that I have to kill him too after I've killed her. It's an OJ situation.
The thing is, unless it's like somebody you know and are consider a friend or something, that would be a lot more difficult to deal with. But.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. But if it's just some random dude.
Yeah. Exactly. How could you be fucking mad?
I would, I was going to come
with 2 B's.
I'm going to be honest, Rob. I was going to come over here and kill you tonight. I was going to do it, but then I thought, you know what? I need to respect the game a little bit more. So I put that rope and my gloves back in the trunk, and I knocked on the door, and I approached you as a man and not as a murderer.
I looked in the mirror. I saw my money over bitches tattoo. I knew what I had to do.
And I said to myself, dude, you're drunk, dude. You're drunk, dude. Don't go kill this guy while you're drunk.
At T. Brian Wolf says, I just listened to Corona Diaries number 20, and I happen to know a guy named Rob with 2 B's.
Whoa. Checking the backlog. All right, buddy.
Hell yeah. He's my brother.
Is he a big fat slob?
He's my brother-in-law's cousin. He's an Afghan war vet with severe PTSD whose passions are collecting knives and LARPing.
So no.
Every time I've talked to the guy, he ends up screaming at me. The most famous of these blow-ups was when I compared Metroid to Halo, and he ripped Metroid apart because it has double jumping. His famous quote...
Again, because Samus is a woman. That's what it is.
His quote, "You can't double jump in space, bro! Do you know what happens if you double jump in space? You fucking die, bro!"
Rob, go see a therapist.
I mean, hey, if you've got a Rob with 2 B's in your life, we're still taking applications for
I want to meet one. If you
Rob
catch one in the wild, then take a picture of him and send it our way.
I wish that was the kind of PTSD most soldiers had.
Yeah.
Where they get aggressive playing video games.
Yeah, they're just angry video game nerds or whatever.
Well,
it'd be a lot easier on a lot of people's families.
That's what I'm thinking.
T. Brian Wolf also sent a follow up to be like, according to his family, he's doing a lot better these days. He's not He's not as nuts. But my favorite part of that is where he says, "You can't double jump in space. Do you know what happens if you double jump in space? You fucking die. You can't double jump in
Space?
life." Life.
You can't double jump in life, much less you can't double jump off of nothing, which is space.
Yeah. You can't do it anyway.
Also, let's be honest, sir, who's not even here or listening to this.
Right.
Yeah.
All these video games take place in space, but there is either artificial or real gravity on these planets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, what are you going to say?
Double true.
You could and in Metroid, you jump off the wall. You don't just double jump.
Yeah.
Let's get this guy in here. I'm going to berate him. and then thank him for his service, of course.
Well, obviously.
Right.
Ask him how many people he killed.
Jesus.
So one of the other really strange phenomenon that emerged during all of this was this thing where pretty early on in the pandemic, because this is from episodes 17, 21, and 25, people at the grocery store could not stop licking things as some sort of very strange political statement.
And cardboard tastes good. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of the first things that you miss when you start smoking is the taste of cardboard that's covered in dust. At least I did.
So, like I said, these next 3 clips are small stories from all across the country about people in grocery stores licking things. I found this other story. This is from the Reno Gazette-Journal in Nevada. A woman in South Lake Tahoe was arrested Tuesday after she allegedly licked items in a Safeway grocery store, according to a release from South Lake Tahoe Police Department. So,
who are these ticking time bombs who go into these stores and are like, I must lick?
I mean, dude, look at this.
She filmed it probably, right?
Look at this woman's picture. Like she looks like a meth billboard, you know.
Let's see
it. Just
oh
yeah. The woman, 53-year-old Jennifer Walker, allegedly licked several pieces. I love this.
That's pretty good for 50.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I thought she was in her 20s.
Meth made her look pretty good.
It's a preservative.
The woman, 53-year-old Jennifer Walker, allegedly licked several pieces of jewelry for sale at the store.
Jesus.
And then put them on her hands. And she then began to fill her shopping cart with $1,800 worth of merchandise. Officers called to the scene, determined Walker, a resident of South Lake Tahoe, had no means to pay for the items in her car. A Safeway employee told her that those items could no longer be sold due to cross-contamination. Walker was arrested and booked into the El Dorado County Jail for felony vandalism.
Why are people under the impression that if they lick stuff, it's just free now?
I don't know if you've ever had a no take backsies kind of situation, but
well, the truth is, if you do this scam, the way to do the scam is to have a Confederate waiting at the dumpster outside. So that way you get arrested, but they will throw all that shit away. So then you just get a person outside to just intercept it before they throw it away.
it's a 2-man job.
Yeah.
That's Rivers. That's why I always say you're the smartest one on the podcast.
Master of crime.
Master of licking jewelry.
Yeah. Well, they'll boil the jewelry. They won't throw that shit away, but they'll throw away all the Marie Callender's frozen meals.
Yeah. Why not go to jail for $15 worth of Marie Callender's?
Cheesy broccoli rice? It's
Is
good. It's really good.
You know, those prisoners get it too easy.
Holly Hill, Florida. This is from yesterday. A Volusia County woman is facing criminal charges after police said that she spit chewed food into a grocery bin holding fruit at a Walmart. Police arrived at the store on North Nova Road Wednesday after receiving a call from the store's asset protection manager regarding a woman spitting food into bins, according to the arrest report. When officers arrived, managers told them that they'd witnessed 40-year-old Lisette Santos selecting food for an online order when she opened a sealed package of guava, taking a piece out of the package, taking a bite of the fruit, and then spitting the chewed fruit into her hands. According to the arrest report, Santos took yet another bite of guava and spit the food into her other hand while dribbling chunks of the chewed food onto the other produce. Santos then walked over to a display of oranges and projectile spat more guava into the fruit bins with...
Good Christ.
They shouldn't be selling bad guavas at the grocery store, if you ask me.
Doesn't sound like it was very
projectile spat into the fruit bins with bits of wet chewed guava fanning out onto the oranges. The food that she picked to chew up is just so funny to say. When the manager confronted Santos and asked her why she was spitting guava, Santos replied, quote, "I don't know, just 'cause." Santos later told police that she was aware of the COVID pandemic while laughing and smiling.
Remember when we talked about that woman who went into Walmart and peed on the potatoes?
Yeah,
that seems tame in comparison to all these news stories about grocery stores.
I think Gavin Newsom has said a lot on these daily briefings about meeting the moment. Some people are meeting the moment at these grocery stores being like, I've never been paid attention to in my entire life. Now all I got to do is dribble food everywhere, and people are going to shut this shit down because of me.
You know
That's true. They definitely had to shut the grocery store down. At least that.
Oh,
area.
yeah. A report said that Walmart estimated the total loss of produce destroyed by Santos to be nearly $350. She was arrested and charged with recklessly tampering with a product and is being held at the Volusia County Jail on $15,000 bond. So...
I didn't
also,
know
jails are also like, would you say just like COVID hotbeds?
100%. Yeah.
You know?
Fucking
like breaking the law right now would be such a fucking bad idea.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I got another really good one from in a minute, but
and people are going to start breaking it more. It's getting hotter out.
That's what I'm saying.
It's the hottest day of the year, I think.
Yeah.
Or one of them.
It's hot
Dude,
right
the
now,
homeless
man.
people are getting screamy today.
Yeah.
And when it starts getting hot, it gets extra bad.
Here's what it is. This is I think this is an okay metaphor. Maybe you guys can relate to this, maybe not. But have you ever had a cooler in the back of your car during the summer and there were some drinks in it and like, you know, there's a little bit of water, and then as the summer moves along, it gets hotter and hotter, and then one day you're driving and you just hear what sounds like a gunshot in the back of your car.
Yeah.
And it's one of the cans exploded. That's all of us right now.
We are all
America is the cooler, and we're all cans of Coke. It's just
the pressure is going to
jostled around and heated up, and we're popping one by one. Some of us are spitting guava. Some of us are peeing on potatoes. Everybody's going to pop eventually. A South Carolina woman was arrested after she coughed and licked her hands before touching several items at a grocery store on Saturday.
You keep hearing about this. It's like, man, if I see this,
I'm going to go insane.
I'm going to be all out.
Yeah.
It's one thing to be like, oh, I have something in my throat. When you're licking your hands, that's fucking offensive.
Oh,
that's a terrorist act right there.
Well, this one's even crazier, right? So store surveillance shows...
started shoving oranges in her pussy. How does it get crazier than this?
Store surveillance shows Shanier Gibson Holiday, 38, coughing and licking her hands before pulling on freezer doors and touching food items all throughout the store, according to the Sumter Police Department. Holiday was arrested and charged with aggravated breach of the peace and food tampering. She was in jail on $100,000 bond Monday when she was additionally charged after being connected to a similar incident at a sandwich shop. In that instance, Holiday allegedly
Repeat offender.
ordered a sandwich, drink, and chips, and then licked her hands before handing the money clerk for her order. She also
stuck her hand in the black olives at Subway.
It's close.
Jesus.
It's close. She also licked quarters before putting them in the tip jar before running out of the restaurant without her food, screaming, "It's in God's hands now!"
Also, you're tipping in quarters, you cheap
You
piece of
fucking
shit.
asshole.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't the guy just not take the money?
Yeah.
Even before all of this, just the idea of like licking your hands and touching money to me,
It's disgusting.
it's so gross.
When you go to really,
Money is so fucking gross.
it's grosser than a toilet seat.
when you go to really fucking nasty, humid, hot places will have signs that say like they won't take money that's been in your bra or like shit like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
you know?
'cause it's sweaty.
People just come in with sweat money.
Yeah, well, and shit, South Carolina, that's a sweaty fucking state, dude.
Yeah.
People
Eesh.
come in, and then there's the really gross one, right, where people run and they don't want to carry a wallet with them, so they put the money in the sock.
Yeah, they won't take that
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, I think that's actually a Curb Your Enthusiasm thing, is
Yeah.
there's a 50 that Larry won't take.
I
because it's
find
been in
that
the
all
sock.
disgusting. This is why I keep my money in my ass crack.
Yeah, that's
at all
right.
times.
Got to know where it's at. So, as I mentioned earlier, we did rely very heavily on our audience. And I think I said as much in the last episode. Like, the audience, everybody who listens to the show, really was like the coolest thing about this whole experience.
These are good guys. These are blue collar guys.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
girls.
Yes, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Shout out to everybody who listens to the show. But yeah, and I on a couple of occasions could just kind of open up the floor to listener questions. And so I thought I would play my two favorite listener questions. And the first one, this one was like the best because this person asked us to do impressions of each other.
Oh, gee, I don't know anyone who does impressions.
No.
No. I tend to distrust those people. Why would you do someone else's voice? What are you trying that? What are you fucking? Are you a narc? In 2003, starring Jason Patrick and a little actor known as Raymond Liotta. I did a movie called Narc in 2003.
I love that movie. That's a great movie. Underrated.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Very underrated.
Yeah, fuck yeah, it is. Anyways, impressionists are fucking shitheads.
Here's some listener questions. We got a very interesting one that from our friend _ Tom Sherlock. This one, it says, will you guys do impressions of each other?
I'm bad. I've already established that I'm bad at impressions, but I'll try. Carter can definitely do it.
Yeah,
'cause he's
yeah,
an
yeah.
impression guy.
This is true. Yeah.
Oh, jeez. All right.
Now Carter's just trying to think of like, how do I do this as nice as possible?
Where do we go from here?
I mean, it's up to you, buddy. You can shut it down.
You can shut it down.
You should.
Is that me? Yeah.
I don't know.
Sound like Dolly Parton. What's up, y'all?
Yeah, Rivers is kind of difficult because I have a southern accent too, but his isn't very pronounced.
I'm gonna brine some chicken and some sweet tea.
There we go. Yeah.
That's something you'd say.
Get some collards up and collard greens.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you know, like when he gets like hysterical.
Yeah, mine is just high pitched and heavy breathing. I think.
No, you don't really breathe that heavily.
Here's my impression of Rivers watching a movie. That's Diamond Dallas Page.
In that movie, Ready to Rumble.
Yeah, man. Yeah. No, he was. What's something? Yeah, it's something Rivers would say about like, well, just everything you could ever know about a wrestler ever. Oh yeah, man. Randy Orton worked at DQ before he was a wrestler.
There we go.
For as a wrestler, man. Just making some collards, collard greens and some sweet taters.
He worked at Scott Steiner's Shoney's.
Scott Steiner's Shoney's.
Worked the lunch rush with his wife there.
I think I've done you on the podcast before, Sam.
Yeah. My Sam is just Carter's Sam.
Yeah. Yeah, I called her a pussy. Yeah.
The one vocal thing that I picked up from you that I have now noticed in everybody from your home state is that y'all say Texas. Texas, like that.
Yeah.
Like we say Texas with the hard S, and then you and every other motherfucker, like Ben from Austin, did it too. When we talked to him on the phone, everybody goes like, "Oh yeah, I'm from Texas." like that.
I
that's the one.
too.
The one tick I've picked up from you so far.
We've already bastardized the word Tejas.
Sure.
Right.
So why not just fucking go with it?
Yeah.
Any which way you please.
No, for sure. Yeah.
Any which way but lose.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing with shit out here, like Sepulveda is pronounced Sepulveda. And,
Sure. Yeah. Los Angeles. Not how you say those words.
Yeah. Los Feliz. All
Los
that.
Feliz.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I think is that satisfactory? I don't know. If you keep asking,
so.
I'll do it again. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll try to work on it. But
PayPal Carter $5 and he'll do the mean ones.
He'll do the mean ones.
Fuck, that sounded like me.
PayPal him $5. Oh God. If you PayPal me money, I'll show up at your house post quarantine and do impressions of anybody. And people used to ask me to do that in high school. Like I remember this guy named Graham. He was like, "Hey, you do a fucking impression of me? Why don't you do it to my face?" But he was like in the efforts of like being fun about it, and I was like just like sweating bullets and like almost crying and be like, "Hey, I'm Graham." And he was like, "Yeah, it's pretty fucking funny, dude."
Did he actually like it? Like,
he was kind of like his girlfriend laughed and patted him on the back, and he was like, "Man, you're lucky I'm high. Else I'd beat the shit out of you." I'm like, ha 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 ha.
That's one of those things. I feel like people either it's like being roasted. Like people either really love it or really fucking hate it.
Yeah, for sure. Wait, can anyone do an impression of me?
Can anybody do an impression of me?
What's funny is like I feel like I should, because I've edited so much.
You've heard my voice
I've
so
heard
much
your voice
now.
so much, but I'm trying to think of like a card. You need, like every impression, you need like some phrase that's very like distinct to set it off.
Sure.
You know? Like, if you're doing like an Australian thing, like I always start with like right.
Right. Yeah.
You start with that, and then you can go anywhere with it, like this.
For a New Zealand thing, it was on these special features of the Lord of the Rings DVDs. Don't ask me why I was watching it.
Yeah.
But I always cue up the New Zealand accent by this one guy. He goes, "The set was wet and we had to meet the deadline." And it's like how you talk. The set was wet and we had to meet the deadline.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they've got the little like at the end of their words, it kind of like turns up, like almost like it's a question.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, right.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
Carter's a hard impression because it's like trying to like fight Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat. You can just become anybody.
Art shapeshifter, man.
I mean, I guess I'm kind of a chameleon because I hate myself.
Yeah.
I think when I was a kid, I had like sort of like an accent or something, and then I tried to delete it, and then it just started being nerdy, and now it's just like some weird Midwestern thing after like smoking for 10 years.
And then you're like, Graham sounds cool. Maybe I should try to sound like Graham.
Try to sound like Graham. I don't know.
You've got mail.
At Cringe Rap. So shout out to Cringe Rap listening there in the UK.
Cringe Rap Supreme.
Cringe Rap Supreme. I love that Cringe Rap is the name, and they live in the United Kingdom. So I'm like, do they got Taco Bell over there? I guess they do.
They have Taco Bell. They have Taco Bell everywhere.
No,
Taco Bell, they're killing it.
Just got it in Australia.
Wait, for real?
Yeah.
Australia is a backwards land of sad. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Hey, we rip Australia on this show constantly.
At Cringe Rap says, what embarrassing piece of clothing did you hold on to for way too long?
I'm currently wearing a shirt that says "Only God can judge me." They do have Taco Bell in the United Kingdom.
Okay, all right.
I have a shirt from when I was 12 years old, and I got it from sending in a UPC from a Mr. Bubbles box. And it's
Were you wearing that yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And yeah, that's I've had that since I was 12, and it's a cool shirt. But that's how fat I was when I was 12. It is vintage.
Wait, that shirt fit you when you were 12?
Yeah, dude.
Holy
I'm fat.
shit.
I'm fucking always been fat.
Well, compared to a 12.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, it's just like I don't have shame about the clothes I own for the most part.
There's one that specifically comes to mind, and I'll put a picture of me wearing it too. When I was in 8th grade, I went to a band competition. I played the tuba. Daniel, can you tell?
Shit.
Not
You're
not trying to
getting
say
mad
I'm
puss
better
like
than
that.
anybody. But we went down to Orlando to do this like district band competition and went to Universal Studios as part of it.
nice.
And it was right when they opened the Universal City Walk, and they have all these restaurants, Hard Rock Cafe, Margaritaville. And they had one that was the Bob Marley Experience.
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
And turns out the Bob Marley Experience is just the experience of eating at a chain restaurant. It's not actually chanting down Babylon or getting the crazy bald heads out of town. It
I
is,
imagine not a lot of Jamaican folk. Not a lot.
and
what did they serve?
I didn't eat there. I just went in specifically because this was the time in which, and I've spoken about this on the show, I was really wanting to become a pothead. Like it was my dream in life. I hadn't smoked weed at that point, but I was gaining accoutrement. So I was like, well, what do weed people like? Well, they like Bob Marley, and so I got a Bob Marley T-shirt, and it's that T-shirt of his face with the Rastafari like flag. It's his
every
face.
white teenager
Right?
has.
Yes, it's his face, but with like red, yellow, and green on it, and it says like the Bob Marley Experience, Universal City Walk 2000, and I wore that T-shirt every time it was clean in the laundry. It was the first shirt I went to when I got when my mom did my fucking laundry. I wore that every goddamn week, pretty much for years, and it's just funny because it's not. If it was just his face, then that would be one thing. But the fact that it says Universal Studios City Walk, Bob Marley Experience 2000.
Not only are you a poser, you're also a tourist.
Right. Exactly. So that would be mine. So
dude, I senior year of high school, I went through a phase where I was like I'm like a rap guy, like I wrote like rap music. I started wearing gold chains. I bought an Eazy-E shirt and I wore it every time it was clear. Like wearing my Eazy-E shirt.
Yeah, dude. That rules, man.
I had that, and when I was 15, I bought my Fallout T-shirt, which you posted the other day, the first episode I did with y'all, and I was wearing that Fallout shirt.
Right, yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's another shirt. Then I was scrolling through my Instagram, I saw I posted a clip of my first open mic, and I was wearing that shirt. I was like, oh, I gotta get rid of that fucking shirt. I can't.
How many years is that?
That's 23... when I was 15. You're making me do math on the spot. That's an 8-year-old shirt.
Dude, I mean, I'll wear shirts
you started doing stand-up when you were 15?
No. When I was 18.
Oh, okay.
I had already owned the shirt for 3 years.
Gotcha.
I'll wear shirts until they have holes in them all the time.
Oh, yeah, until I can't wear it anymore. Like, I didn't realize, around the time I was, 15... I was like, I saw Superbad, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna dress like Jonah Hill dresses in this movie, and that's how.
Cool.
Wait, with the Western, the Merle Haggard,
or I would wear the flannel over a graphic tee.
Oh,
that was my move until 21 years old.
That was exactly how I dressed too, man. Unbuttoned fucking flannel shirt.
Yeah,
dude.
baby, let everybody know. Yeah, I'm a cool guy. I got flannel and the shirt, and then so now I just have and I didn't realize that the way you dress it actually affects whether or not people want to have sex with you. And you dress like you dressed when you were 16.
Dude, I had that problem so bad.
My friend's wife just picks out my outfits now. She's like, this is what women like.
I had ex-girlfriend had to just be like, hey, girls don't like cargo shorts, right?
Wait, they don't?
Yeah, and I was just like, I don't know. I like them, though.
The pocket.
Shamed me into stopping wearing. I should thank her. I should go thank her. She has me blocked on all social media platforms.
What'd you do?
Nothing. I think she just wanted to move on and not have to think about me and not have to see my posts in her feed all the time.
And your cargo shorts.
Yeah, my cargo shorts.
That's what
I don't wear them anymore because of her.
You should have just dropped off the cargo shorts at her house.
Thank you, Sandra. You fixed my cargo shorts problem. Also, I just want to say I thumbed through the Taco Bell UK menu.
Oh yeah,
mostly the same.
Yeah.
It does appear like on the value menu, you can get some sort of chicken tender soft taco.
Fascinating.
Okay. The thing I know about them is that they have a much higher standard for beef and stuff like that. So I'd be interested to try a Taco Bell in the UK because
that's probably better.
That's probably because the McDonald's, God knows.
Also, they seem to all sell beer, or at least a lot.
Yeah,
they have a Taco Tuesday where 2 pounds will get you a fucking taco and a soul.
Dude, what the fuck? Dude, I love that Nate Bargatze joke. Where he's like, I go overseas and I'll still go to McDonald's. He's like, I want to see how they're doing it over here.
Yeah.
Like, what's it like in Beirut? Like, how do they...
Oh, yeah. So our last section here is all about the various news stories that came out all across the country of basically people freaking out in one way or another about masks and having to wear them in public places. A lot of great clips here, including one that spurned my favorite radio drop I've ever made, which is Narado Moore saying, "That's suicide, my man."
I mean, to not wear a mask, I remember after we pulled this big job, Bobby was telling people who weren't wearing their masks, it's like, what, are you trying to get us pinched? Where's the mask? We're trying to stay under the fucking radar here, as I recall. I think that was an actual thing that happened to me.
So yeah, we'll start off with a couple of people freaking out about masks, and then we'll hear a couple of news stories about I labeled this playlist COVID transgressions because we've got insane house parties, we've got a baseball game that got canceled right in the middle of it because everybody got COVID.
We have the biggest heist in New York history.
That's right. The Lufthansa heist. We've got it all the big news stories, and a woman in the UK who had a balloon shop, and that one was particularly entertaining. So let's hear some COVID transgressions. Did you see any of the kind of mask incidents from the weekend, Narado? There was 3, I think. There was a lady in a Home Depot that somebody said something to her about the mask, and she started yelling white power at them. And then
saw that.
And then there was one where a woman in, I think, Costco, they said something to her about the mask, and she literally sat on the floor and threw a tantrum like a toddler.
Yeah.
And she was straight up like in her 60s, like exactly what you're talking about. Like, you're like, lady, this is for you. Just quit being a goddamn baby. And then, of course, the funniest one was in Florida. Basically, this old lady, said something to him about a mask, and he started screaming at her.
You're 6 feet away from you.
You're harassing me.
I'm not harassing you. You are infecting us. You're coming close to me. You're coming close to me.
Back up! Yes. Threaten me again! Yes. Back the fuck up, put your fucking phone down!
And within half an hour, everybody figured out who he was, and he got fired from selling insurance. Down there,
He wasn't just yelling at her. He was physically intimidating. He was acting like he was gonna punch an old woman.
Yeah.
It was fucking nuts.
Yeah,
I'm always amazed by those stories. Like I don't know. It's like these people have been living in caves or something for the last 10 years and don't realize that like the internet and camera phones are a thing.
Right.
Honestly,
like people are gonna find out who you are. People are going to find out where you work. And it's always people who are on social media themselves with all their information up. So it's just like, what do you think people are doing when they're pointing their phones at you?
Yeah.
And what do you think is going to happen when this gets out? It's like most of the time, they're even screaming into the camera, like, I don't care if you record me. Like, this is suicide, my man.
I think it's always old people who definitely put their phone number on Facebook. They list their birthday, their phone number,
address,
the whole fucking kit and caboodle. Absolutely.
I think you're right, though, about them living in caves. Not like literally, but I think they put themselves in a position where when they go online, they're like looking at dog memes and shit. They're consuming news that like pertains, that's like biased biased towards what they think anyways.
Right.
They don't go around the type of like Twitter that's canceling people. They don't do that at all.
Yeah.
So they'll be like, you can record me not knowing what's about to fucking happen.
Yeah. Yeah, this one was funny because the CEO of the insurance company that he worked for like had to tweet about it and just to like announce that they had fired him or whatever. And it was funny to note that this big insurance company, which is called the Ted Todd Agency, the CEO only had like 340 followers. So I got way more followers than the CEO of a major insurance company, which made me feel good. So
that's a W, my man.
Yeah.
I love seeing stuff like that because people surround themselves in this bubble like that so much, but also they just assume that everybody else who looks like them is okay with that. Like that's been the story of the last decade when it comes to white people. Like, like most white people who like they feel like they're not racist.
Yeah,
but they all have stories about these other white people who see them and they think, oh, you're white like me, so let me say racist things to you.
Dude.
You feel right? And it's just like, I don't fucking think, what are you talking about? No, like, and that's how these people are getting exposed today. They're just like, yeah, I'm the CEO of this corporation. I've got all my information on my T-shirt, on my truck, on my Facebook, on my Twitter. Yeah, I'm gonna go out and just attack some Native Americans and say horrible things to Asians. Yeah. None of my people are gonna care. And it's like everybody who's trying to counsel you is your people.
Right. It's like they're like, oh, you're with me, right, guys? What?
Well, that happens all the time. You'll just like walk into a store and some white person's being racist, and they'll like just talk to you, be like, "Hey, look what this thing! They're speaking Spanish in America," and you're just like, "Fucking get away from me, you freak! don't bring me into this." Yeah. But now that you are wrong here.
Yeah. As long as we're talking about it, fuck you. You know.
This is suicide, my man.
The most fucked up COVID thing I read, though, is from Epworth, Kansas. They were having a baseball game, and in the third inning, they stopped the game due to COVID.
Damn, that's like the NBA. Like, they stopped it in the middle of a game then, too.
Literally, like, the game is going on, and then they were like, oh, shit, I guess somebody got their test results back, and they had to they shut it down.
The NBA
I mean, COVID's like, it takes it out in the middle of the game, you know? Like, minor league, the NBA, DL Hughley. I mean, you know, the whole thing.
I love the NBA game they stopped before tip-off, when the arena was just, like, full of people, and then they had to come out and be like, actually, we're not going to have a game tonight.
When did they, like, in the middle of the baseball game, when did they decide to, like, why in the middle of the game?
Because somebody got a test result back.
They got like
in the middle of the game.
Got an email probably, and they were like, shut it down.
At risk of shutting this down, I got my test results back today. Negative.
Okay.
Good job.
Negative. I did like the brain scrape thing too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude.
They gave you the hardcore one?
Yeah. Well, they were like, like,
how was that?
It was like, well, I went up and I was expecting it to be like the mouth swab thing.
Yeah.
As you would.
Yeah, because that's what it was last time. And they just handed me the nose thing, and I immediately like cowered. I was like, oh, excuse me, I thought this was supposed to be the mouth swab thing. And they were like, no. And then like I was like, well, what about the do you have? He's like, well, we have them. Would you like that? And then some guy sitting down, like some nurse who's sitting down, he's like texting. He was like, not as accurate. And I was like, oh, what? He's like, it's not as accurate. Like it lives in your membrane, so it's the nose thing is more accurate. And I was like, oh. And he's like, and the woman was like, it's okay. It's just a little tickle. If you just push back until you feel resistance, and then it's just a little tickle.
Every time I've been told by a doctor that it doesn't hurt that bad, it's a complete lie.
It means it's
because they have
really
to tell you that. If they're like, hey, it hurts really bad, you're just gonna go, fuck no, don't do that to me.
Well, it's like when you're getting a shot and they're like, all right, so we're gonna give it to you in 1, 2, and they just give it to you on 2.
Yeah, it's like, I am not a horse, sir. But yeah, no, like, and because I'm a very brave boy, I looked at her and I went, well, I heard the mouth one, the nose one hurts. I heard the nose one hurts.
Oh, man.
And she said, no, it just tickles. And so
and then 2 seconds later,
well, she's like, it's going to activate your tear ducts because it's back there, but it just tickles. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I rolled the window up, and then she's like,
you have
to do it
thumbs up.
yourself?
You have to do it yourself.
What the fuck?
And I'm just like, and you have to spin that shit around for 10 seconds.
Oh, dude. Were you able to do it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I was like, I'm there. I'm like, and then I was like, so I did it. I was like really proud of myself. And then I was like, it's insane how much of it I pulled out of my nose.
Yeah.
And then I was like, and then she's like, motions like other nostril. I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
Whoa.
And so I'm like down the hole again. I'm like,
holy shit.
At this point, I'm like full on like,
yeah.
Dude, I can't deal with anything near my eyes, ears, throat, anything that's connected there. Fucking.
To be fair, wasn't as bad as I thought, but it was like, it was, I did not know I was going to have to do it myself.
Yeah.
And I'm glad it was, glad it came back negative because Jesus Christ, it really makes you put a price on those tests.
Yeah.
When you do the mouth swab one, you're like, I can just get another one soon. Like, those are like, if those are more accurate, I'm like, I'm gonna fucking bury a hole in my room and stay there until this is over. Like, Jesus Christ.
For 2 years.
I mean, it's flossing your brain. Like,
fuck
it's
that,
insane.
dude. I literally wouldn't be able to do that. Like, I could try and my like reflexes would just be like, nope.
Once you get there, I don't know. It's like,
what if you have a deviated septum?
I don't
from
know.
Snorting too much coke.
I mean,
what if that's
got to be a lot of
case?
people's problem. I don't know.
In LA, probably.
I mean, the mouth swab thing's got to be pretty reliable.
I've heard it's not. My roommate also said that.
It's because you're coughing up particles, as opposed to like the virus lives in your
membrane.
In your membrane, yeah. So it's like that's where it would be. So yeah, it did feel good to get a negative email today.
It's good, yeah.
But still, it was insane. The fact that you have to spin it in your brain for 10 seconds is fucking nuts.
That's awful.
Yeah. Well, it's just one of those places you're not supposed to be putting things in there. It's like It's like when they tell you don't stick anything in your ear, smaller than a football.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's
and it's hard not to because it feels good sometimes.
Yeah.
The guy was so like, are you really going to be a fucking baby about this and get the mouth? I was like, if you have them, please.
That's probably the 1,000th time he said that day.
Oh yeah, he didn't even look at me when he said it. He was just like, no, the nose test is more. It's more responsive. Just do the nose test, please.
Oh, you want the candy baby test? All right.
Yeah,
we got one candy baby test. Get it over here.
Him want a lollipop after him mouth test.
This is suicide, my man.
By the way, I wanted to share this. This is maybe the funniest video I've ever seen.
Yeah?
Because you can, and I definitely showed it to you, Carter. The reason I like it so much is that the tone of her voice keeps stepping up in intensity, and I would compare her voice to, it's like listening to a Honda Civic, a manual drive Honda Civic trying to make it up a mountain.
As someone who owns a Honda Civic, I don't like this.
I used to drive.
I mean, like one from the 70s.
I used to drive
Yeah, you're
my
right.
manual Honda Civic.
Oh.
Yeah, so
I know exactly what that sounds like.
Angry.
The sound you're listening for is like,
Yeah, you can hear those gears shift.
Yes.
You absolutely
So,
can.
See if you can hear it. Okay, here we go.
I was just at CVS, and a man that doesn't even work for CVS wouldn't let me in the door, and he threw me out the door. He doesn't even work for CVS. He wasn't wearing one of their shirts. What the fuck? Anderson Cooper paid this man to make me angry. They're not letting me buy things to hydrate myself. I want to buy some tea. Fuck you, America, for making me live like this. What the fuck is wrong with everyone? They said I'm not allowed to buy anything. Oh, fuck!
Wow, fuck!
I love when people put an exclamation on a statement with a curse word.
Yeah,
That's so
that was
good.
straight pro wrestler shit.
Loved it, dude. It's so fun. I mean, I said on Twitter, but it's true. I was like,
I'll see you, Anderson Cooper, at CBS this summer. It's gonna be a war.
This is what-
this summer's Anderson Cooper at CBS.
This is sugar withdrawal right here. She couldn't get an Arizona iced tea
Yeah.
for 99 cents, and now she's freaking the fuck out.
That's what the fuck she's talking about.
Is there no hair, or is there more hair just pulled very tightly in the back?
I was trying to tell that also. I think it's very tight.
I believe it is so tight that it is squeezing her brain.
Well, it's so tight that she appears bald almost.
Yeah. The only reason I think it's a bit is because she's so good at doing the anime like shaking of the camera to reflect her anger thing at the end. Like it's over 9,000.
It seems like she's going faster.
Yeah, well, she's like ramping up. The engine's getting hot. It's like she's breaking the clutch.
That's the thing. It's like, the engine's getting hot, but she hasn't released the clutch yet. She's going, like the car's shaking and shit. Particles are levitating in front of her. She's super sailing.
God damn it.
She's craving
Fucking amazing.
mango flavored Arizona iced tea.
I will not call it mucho mango. It's mango.
I want the
I want CBS. I want Anderson Cooper. That's CBS.
That's the best line. That was the two things that made me think maybe she's a comic and it's a bit. Is the great, amazing, emphatic camera shaking at the end, but also the line
blaming Anderson Cooper for masks.
Where
is funny.
no, not for masks. It's more personal than that. She says the quote is, because I've watched this video 6,000 times. The quote is, Anderson Cooper paid this man to make me angry. Love it.
Also,
fucking unhinged.
She goes into the
Incredible.
fact that somebody who didn't work there kicked her out. That also seems like a bit.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty funny. Kudos to the guy who did that, because that's hilarious. You should.
Yeah.
You did right. You know.
Yeah,
Does
if
she
it's
not-
a bit, then
Does she not?
I cede.
Yeah. It's a bit good. If it's not bad.
I mean,
better.
Yeah.
Actual proof of crazy person. Well, always better than made up comedy.
Has she not been anywhere else where stores are hiring people, like security people, to not let people in the store?
Yeah.
Like that's a pretty common thing these days in LA, at least.
Yeah, I think so.
This is suicide, my man.
So speaking of the South,
oh boy, let's.
I have, and I can't believe you guys haven't heard about this yet.
Yeah,
maybe I have. Maybe I have.
Maybe you have. It's in Nashville. It got so bad that the White House had to issue a statement on it.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's see. Sin City takes on Music City at Fashion House Nashville party during COVID-19 pandemic. Nearly 1,000 people attended a house party in Northeast Nashville over the weekend. Videos circulated on social media show partygoers with no masks or social distancing in sight. People are calling it the super spreader party that took place at a newly built cluster of homes listed in social media as Fashion House Nashville. Someone was saying like there was an open bar with no restrictions. Every room I went into that home was just people front to back partying. I saw maybe a handful of people with masks on. It's also, these are people from Vegas. They rented out a house, and one of them was this guy from this band called Savage After Midnight named Shy Eubanks. Just a deplorable tattoo-faced human being.
I don't like any of that.
Oh, here's who was attending this. Strippers, Playboy, OnlyFans girls with like 1 million followers. It was the biggest party I've ever been to. It was stupid.
Well, that's true.
Apparently there were there were videos on people's stories. Just like some of the comics from Nashville actually drove by and were like filming it, being like, "Look at this crazy shit!" Like thousands of people. Apparently, it got like Chris Crofton wrote about it on his column, Advice King. It got so out of hand, it got to like Woodstock 99 levels.
Oh no!
People were eating each other's asses in public in the party. Like there's video of some guy, I believe it's the guy who started the party, Shy Eubank, with his face just in someone's ass giving analingus, which I don't think is proper social distance.
No,
They've even said that's a way to spread COVID. The government,
And pink eye.
The government was like, "Don't eat ass."
And also, it's a way to prevent COVID, pink eye, and hacky ass eating jokes.
Well, that happened here too. There was like a big mansion in some gated neighborhood in the Hollywood Hills that got busted. They they had to fly a helicopter over it and tell people to disperse and shit. And I think somebody got shot. Like it was
Holy
just
fuck. He wouldn't stop eating ass.
yeah. Get away, or else you're gonna meet Spike.
But yeah, fashion house is like all over the internet right now.
And it's
so there are people who are in Nevada and they flew there to just specifically have a big party as a fuck you.
Yeah, I think it was like a bunch of like Vegas and LA people.
Yeah,
just going to like basically, just be like, well, we can't do this at home,
right?
So let's burn Nashville to the ground.
Yeah,
which is what has been happening to the city that I love for so long. I mean, through bachelorette parties and shit. But yeah, this is like thousands of people eating ass,
How
getting
big
drunk.
of a fucking house was this? This property
It
must
was
have
like
been huge.
it was like a duplex. Like it was not big.
What?
People were spilling out into the street and shit.
Oh,
Like
it's that kind of deal.
yeah, it's just crazy.
If you're the neighbor, what do you do in that situation?
Call the police.
Yeah, I think you kind of have to. Wow,
Or do you start partying?
Yeah, just look up fashion house.
You
There
look
it is.
out the window and you go, "They're eating ass. Let's go, honey.
Wow.
Put the kids to bed."
Here's how you know it's bad. Like you referenced, the White House had to say something about it.
Yeah.
The quote: "The president encourages all Americans to do their part to slow the spread of COVID by maintaining social distancing."
Yeah.
Wow.
Like when Trump is wagging the finger at you for a single party you threw, it's not like a house party like, oh, gee shucks, did we really blow the roof off the house?
The president has to tell you no.
Yeah.
Even if it's a ridiculous president, that's still pretty crazy.
Yeah, and it's like...
They're going to use that as a bragging point, though. They should have said nothing.
I mean, it's like, you really just like, I bet he feels just like some Animal House, like, really like, what's the point? We're just having some fun until everyone's hooked up to a ventilator and shit.
Jesus.
Yeah, and it has all my friends in Nashville nervous because these dickheads are still there.
Yeah, of
and
course.
they're going to be like, well, let's just, spread it around East Nashville because that's where they all live.
Wow. What a retrospective. And this is just part one. I don't know who we got coming on for part two, but I just wanted to say...
He's not as big a fucking celebrity as me.
No, probably not. But
I would guess you probably won't find somebody else as big as me. That's just my assumption.
Probably not. But we do want to thank Oscar nominee, probably, Ray Liotta, for joining us for this part one of the Corona Mixtape.
Hey, don't fucking worry about it. Don't say anything about it. Don't get caught. Never rat out your friends.
Hell yeah. That's words to live by, my man. We are a no snitching podcast, so we absolutely abide by that.
That's good. That's good. You're a good shit, Rivers.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you for joining us, and thank you to everybody listening, and we will see you for Corona Mixtape Part 2.